Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you the cheerleaders for today's game. The cheerleaders for the visiting team, the O'Gorman Knights, are Mary Kate Stotts, Kate Trader, Megan Gusso, Katie Pell, Emma Bakken, Madeline Rausch, Peyton Stephenson, Katie Gellerman, Ellie Gould, Cassidy Davis, Mara Brown, and Emily Powell. Cheer coach for the Knights, Mary Leonards. Now the cheerleaders for your home team, the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Alex Stuckreising, Caitlin Reiswick, Haley Brown, Jana Hortness, Katie Nielsen, Kaylee Cotton, Marissa Hansel, Mackenzie Leach, Morgan Pansich, Tammy Kunze, Sydney Cork, Tia Teese, and Belle Dean. The cheer coach for the Riders, Kiana Pardee.
Good afternoon from Howard Wood Field in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Welcome to this presentation of high school football on the Howard Wood Field YouTube channel and K-Learn. My name is Brent Bowen, and I am joined today by August Mills. Today marks the playing of the 28th Annual President's Bowl. Today's first game will showcase the number 1 ranked Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders and the 3rd rated O'Gorman Knights. Today's second game will feature the 5th rated Sioux Falls Washington Warriors and the unranked Sioux Falls Lincoln Patriots. The Rough Riders hold the top spot for the second straight week in the Class A AAA media poll after defeating city rival Lincoln 35-17 last week at Howard Wood Field. The Riders, who have also defeated the defending state champion Brandon Valley Lynx, are 2-0 overall. Roosevelt is one of only 2 undefeated teams in the Class A AAA. The other is Harrisburg, who has earned wins over Rapid City Central and Sioux Falls, Washington. O'Gorman fell to 3rd in this week's Class AAA media poll after suffering its first loss of the season last week. Vernon Valley dominated the Knights in the second half of the Dakota Bowl to post a 40-16 win. O'Gorman beat the Rough Riders 36-0 last year in Roosevelt's homecoming game. It's time to meet the starting lineups. You are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and O'Gorman on the Howard Wood Field YouTube channel in K-Learn.
The schools participating in this event are members of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, which have adopted the rules under which the game is conducted. A strong commitment to excellence, fair play, and sportsmanship are vital to this activity's success. Roosevelt High School and O'Gorman High School appreciate your recognition of the values being taught at this educational event. Your officials for the game this afternoon. The referee, Jim Ricketts Jr. Umpire, Todd Landsman. Head linesman, Scott Jansen. Line judge, John Garrow. And back judge, Ryan Sage. These officials are registered by the South Dakota High School Activities Association. They have worked hard to learn the rules and apply them fairly. We request that you respect their honest efforts in administering this contest. Steve Moore, Activities Principal at Roosevelt High School, is the post-game administrator for this game. And now, introducing the starting defense for the O'Gorman Knights. At one defensive back, a senior, number 1, Caden Hackman. At tackle, senior, number 4, Tip Ryman. At linebacker, number 5, senior, John Kunkel. At linebacker, senior, number 13, Zach Norton. At defensive back, a junior, number 14, Connor Pavelko. At defensive back, a senior, number 16, Logan Jones. And another defensive back, senior, number 24, Jacob Bird. At linebacker, senior, number 37, Joe Matchek. At end, a senior, number 44, Jonah Wubin. At defensive end, senior, number 45, Kate McCuska. And at tackle, a junior, number 66, Matt Peters. The head coach for the Knights, Jason Poppinga. And now, introducing the starting defense for the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. First off, at corner, number 5, junior, Tucker Large. At corner, a junior, number 4, Joey Hughes. At one outside linebacker, senior, number 8, Aaron Kusler. At the other outside linebacker, senior, number 9, Adam Kusler. At middle linebacker, junior, number 10, Brandon Dannenbring. At free safety, senior, number 21, Nathan Moon. At safety, senior, number 22, Max Miller. At strong safety, senior, number 23, Amir Muhammad. At defensive end, senior, number 64, Caleb Dwyer. At defensive end, a senior, number 69, Zane Wilson. And at nose, sophomore, number 74, Lane Ferguson. Ferguson. Head coach for the Rough Riders, Kim Nelson. At this time, please direct your attention to midfield as Dan and Jay Harmon and Mark and Amber Lucci, the 2019 Cold Cheerleader, present today's game ball. Please join them in thanking them and all of the volunteers who helped make this great event happen.
Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of high school football. You have met the starting lineups for both teams. It's time for the coin toss, and we will turn it over to referee Jim Ricketts Jr. at midfield. Welcome back to Howard Field in this presentation of high school football. O'Gorman won the toss, and they will defer their option to the second half. So Roosevelt will start with the ball, and it's Roosevelt definitely looking for some revenge from last year's game where they got smoked by O'Gorman on their homecoming.
Yeah, of course, in a new year, new season, a lot of new faces on both these rosters. It'll be interesting to see if the results the same from last year, or, like you said, if Roosevelt can get that revenge from last year's homecoming.
Yep, as the kick is off, and Large and Feldkamp are back to receive. Looks like Feldkamp will get it, and he's got it across the 15. Gets a couple blocks down the right sideline to the 35-40, cuts back, and is down to the 43-yard line. A good start for Roosevelt, who's looking to get a win today over their arch rival, the O'Gorman Knights. And Joe Terry will be the starting running back in the backfield, as Tyree Nave is not playing today for a reason we don't know why, but we'll see how the junior running back will do today in the backfield, as we've never really seen him play a whole lot this year or ever. Has Dannenbrain in the pistol with Turry behind him. He hands it off to, or his Feldkamp behind him, and he hands it off to him on his first play. Feldkamp down the left sideline to the 35, and he'll go out of bounds to about the 32-yard line. So maybe they're going to get Tyler Feldkamp some carries in the backfield, which is odd. We've never really seen.
Well, yeah, like you said, with new running back, of course, you don't want to give him all the carries. So, yeah, do a few receiver runs out of the backfield. Feldkamp's pretty fast, and it works out there. Great start for Roosevelt.
Yeah, Joe Turry is lined up in the slot now, who's expected to be running back. Tyler Feldkamp's still in the backfield, which is very strange, but Roosevelt still has a lot of weapons. And Michael Paulson, you got Reese POTUS. You also have, you got weapons out there, so you can afford with Tyler Feldkamp in the backfield. As Feldkamp gets the carry for only about 2 yards. So this is definitely not what O'Gorman was preparing to face this week with Tyler Feldkamp in the backfield. So they're going to have to make some quick adjustments here on defense. But this is a good defense that obviously shut out a good Roosevelt offense last year.
Yeah, and like you said, that run from Feldkamp not as good. You can't run him all. It's not going to be a surprise to run him all the time. So they'll have to alternate running backs, you'd think. Or maybe not.
Feldkamp gets another carry, and he's bottled up in the backfield this time. And O'Gorman will bring it back to the original line of scrimmage, and that'll set up a 3rd and long for Roosevelt, and we'll likely see their first passing attempt of the day.
And Brady Dannenbrain, returning quarterback from last year. He's a senior, I believe, this year. So Roosevelt not too worried about their air attack here with the senior quarterback.
It's probably 4-down territory here, as it's 3rd and long. You can probably take a 4, 5, 6-yard play and go for it on 4th down. They go the shovel option, and Feldkamp's bottled up again, so they give him a lot of touches early. But Roosevelt won't be able to kick a field goal. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it here on 4th and 11, as it's probably too short to punt. You'd punt it into the end zone.
Yeah, that was weird. A great start. I mean, that Feldkamp play started out just amazing, got him all the way down here, and then three straight runs with him have lost you 1 yard. So I'm not. Yeah, this you'd hope is a pass.
4th down, as Dannenbrain's in the pistol again, trying to jump him off sides. Roosevelt might use a timeout, as only got one receiver out wide. You got Dannenbrain, who's got Turry to his right. Now Feldkamp in motion will go to the left. Dannenbrain takes a snap, looks left, throws it to Feldkamp. Doesn't look like he's going to get it, and he can't break the tackle, and O'Gorman's got a turnover on downs. So a good start for the Knights defense, as they'll take over from their own 26-yard line with quarterback Tegan Schlimgen, as he will split time with Zach Norton and the running back Tate Wishard.
Yeah, and you always say, especially on 4th down, you always throw beyond the line of gain, and Feldkamp was a good 5 or 6 yards short there, and just couldn't break that tackle. But we'll see if O'Gorman can answer here with their own score.
Schlimgen back in the gun. Roosevelt brings pressure on 1st down. Quick pass there for Schlimgen out to Jones, and Jones has got enough, looks like, for a 1st down, maybe an inch or two short. And it's 1st down Knights, so they get a 1st down on their first play, just like Roosevelt did. As the Roosevelt's going to come at you with the Kuslers and Brandon Dannenbrain, so you've got to be getting rid of the ball fast. As Schlimgen's in the shotgun with trips to his left, and a single receiver to his right. Roosevelt bringing pressure. Schlimgen takes a snap, and the ball's batted at the line of scrimmage by Adam Kusler, which is one of the, obviously, two twin Kusler brothers who are both going to South Dakota State, just about an hour up the road in Brookings, South Dakota, who are currently playing right now up there. And they're just incredibly good. Had 30 tackles last week against Lincoln, about 30 tackles combined between the two of them. I think one of them might have hit 20. They're tough to stop. And 2nd down, Schlimgen's got trips to his left again, single receiver to his right. Schlimgen takes a snap, shovels it to Wishard. Wishard will get about a few yards up the right sideline. Oh, Zach Norton's in the backfield there, though. Zach Norton there on the carry. So it looks like Zach Norton might be playing linebacker, returning, quarterback even. It's the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, Zach Norton's really fast guy. He's a decent quarterback, but he'll run over 50% of the time. They're a good running back receiver. Just a great utility player, like I said, you can have on the field at all times when you're on offense.
Now Zach Norton is going into the left slot, I believe, and O'Gorman's going to use the timeout. As you could tell that Norton and Schlimgen were just a little kind of confused there at the line of scrimmage. They'll take their first time out of the quarter. We'll take a little break. 9:01 left to go in the first quarter. Still no score here at Howard Wood Field.
The premier business broadband provider with 45,000 miles of fiber optics reaching into 8 states. Specializing in connecting companies with multiple locations. SDN leads the market in managed cybersecurity solutions. Howard Wood Field, Wi-Fi provided by SDN Communications.
Unrivaled agility and SDN's managed cybersecurity services help Hank connect and serve all of his office locations with ease. Up your IT game with SDN's reliable broadband network. Enjoy the uptime. Unrivaled agility and SDN's managed cybersecurity.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field in this presentation of high school football. It's going to be a 3rd and 7 now for O'Gorman as they had confusion at the line of scrimmage. It's a big third down here. Roosevelt will likely bring pressure, and they will. Quick pass up the middle, and he doesn't quite break it, but it'll be a first down for the Knights up to midfield. And more of the quick passing game right there. And there's a flag down on the far right sideline at the 45-yard line. We'll see if this will be brought back as Jim Ricketts Jr. will come in with the call.
In out, go downfield, 55, offense, 5-yard cover, 3rd down.
And that's definitely a penalty that you cannot have there if you're O'Gorman. A legal man downfield, especially when you had 3rd down and 7. Now you have 3rd and 12. It's just a lot more difficult in your own territory. So that's you can't have those penalties if you're trying to upset the #1 team in the state. Trick play there to the right side. That's Sam Stuckel, but he'll still be wrapped up short. Good job by the Riders to not let that go for a big gain. And the Knights will have to punt for the first time today.
And that was a good call by O'Gorman there. A nice little trick play. You probably get that if it's a little bit shorter, but like a 3rd and 7 or something. But no, you're just 3rd and 12. It's not going to happen. They get about 8 yards. It's solid, but yeah.
Feldkamp will be out to return now. He might be Roosevelt's Swiss Army knife today, as he'll be playing about everything.
Okay.
I remember last year he had to play defense a little bit too, as Roosevelt was banged up in the secondary. As Feldkamp returns the punt, goes to the left side, and won't get a whole lot, and it'll go to about the 25, 26-yard line, and that's where Brady Dannebrand and company will take over for their second drive of the game. As Roosevelt they had a good start with a couple of good plays, but then they got shut down towards the end by the OG defense.
They essentially had one good play, got him 25 yards, and then about 3-4 plays with Feldkamp got him. The next 4 plays he got the ball in each one and got combined 5 yards. So hopefully they got to expand a little bit. Can't just give the ball to Feldkamp every time.
So Feldkamp's in the backfield. Now he's going to go wide. As he play action to Turry, Brady Dannebrand steps up and he's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. He'll only lose about 2 or 3 yards, thankfully, for Roosevelt. But OG continues to collapse the pocket, and now it'll be 2nd and 13 for Roosevelt inside the 22. So a little bit of concerns now without the star running back Tyree Nave here in the 3rd game of the season.
Yeah, the Roosevelt's line just collapsed real quick right there, and hopefully they can get things settled because Dannebrand's not going to have too much time this game if that's a sign of things to come.
As Dannebrand now in the pistol formation, we've seen that a lot today with Turry to his right and Feldkamp right behind him. He's got 2 receivers to his left, Feldkamp in motion out to the left. Dannebrand takes a snap, looks downfield over the middle, caught by Michael Paulson, who had the big 95-yard touchdown against Lincoln last week. That set a school record. And that's about a 10-yard gain, and that'll set up a 3rd and short for Roosevelt that they'll look to convert here for their 2nd or 3rd first down to the 8.
So this would be a perfect place just kind of to toss it to Feldkamp here on a sweep or something like that, or a shovel pass or something. This is where you give him the ball, but we'll see what Dannebrand does.
As Roosevelt hurrying up a little bit, as Feldkamp was in motion again. They hand it off to Turing. That's not going anywhere. As OG has another stop, but don't know if I'd say questionable play call, but definitely on 3rd and 3 when you haven't really ran the ball a whole lot. As the O'Gorman defense forces a 3 and out after the big mistake on the offensive end.
Yeah, that's Turing's first carry. So, yeah, not the greatest first carry, like you said, being the backup running back, but Roosevelt, yeah, hasn't looked, outside of one play, really hasn't looked too great on offense, but.
And Vance Borchers will be back to punt, as he's had a pretty good year punting the ball so far, and he's also might play some wide receiver this year. Almost blocked there by Jacob Bird. Punt return by Zach Norton. Makes a man miss, goes to the right side, and he's going to be down at about the 40-yard line, tackled by Tucker Wolf. And now the O'Gorman Knights offense will come back onto the field.
Looks like we have a flag at about the 47.
Yeah.
That's probably, every punt it's always blocking or holding by the receiver.
Usually, though, when it's holding or blocking the back, it's usually about by where the return happens.
True,
so
yeah.
You never know, but we'll see. And we'll go down to Jim Ricketts Jr. for the call.
Block in the back. Number 4, number 13. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that penalty was a block in the back on Tiff Riemann. And O'Gorman knew it as they started backing up. So now that's worse field position for the Knights as they're back at the 30 after the 10-yard penalty. Schlimgen back in the shotgun again, which we've seen him most of the time. Back to pass, over the middle, caught, and tackled after about a 7-yard gain. That was Norton again. And it looked like he was brought down there by Max Miller, the free safety. And it'll be 2nd and 3 on their own 37 for the Knights as the short pass game is working, as they've had, it looks like they've been 3 for 3 and been very successful. As Schlimgen's in the shotgun again, 2 receivers to his right and left. And on a 2nd and 3, 10 seconds left on the play clock, Kusler almost jumped off sides. A handoff, the keep, up the middle, Schlimgen at the 40, he is gone. Just got tackled down. Great hustle by Joey Hughes, the cornerback, to save a touchdown. But OG is now in business at the 9-yard line. Great keeper, completely fooled the whole Roosevelt defense.
So it appears both O'Gorman quarterbacks have some pretty quick legs here, and that's going to be a problem for Roosevelt. Like you said, a great touchdown-saving tackle there, but O'Gorman's got prime field position here in 1st and goal, and Roosevelt's defense, yeah, trying to stop him here.
Yeah, the shoelace tackle got Schlimgen right there. And now let's see if the Roosevelt defense can hold O'Gorman to at least a field goal. O'Gorman probably is the best kicker in the state. He kicked a 49-yard field goal last week. Schlimgen keeps again to the left side, and we'll get about 3 yards.
I think that was Norton, actually. Yeah, that was Zach Norton taking the
they're
direct
going to
snap.
switch off between quarterbacks, between Schlimgen and Norton.
And Norton, oh yeah, he's fine. You're adjusting his sock. He's
as
good.
Norton was the main quarterback last year for the Knights when they made it all the way. Well, they didn't get quite to the championship. They made it to the semifinal where they lost to Brandon on their home field. A game that they wish they would have won, even though Brandon beat them pretty handily.
And Brandon, of course, went on to win the state final.
Yep. Hands it off up the middle to Bouchard, and he's in for the touchdown. And Roosevelt faces their first deficit in the whole season, as it is now 6-0 Knights with 4 minutes left to go. As the big carry by Schlimgen sets the tone for that drive, and the Knights take an early 6-0 lead with the PAT pending by Connor Pavelko. It's just O'Gorman running the football, and not really Brandon or Lincoln could run the football against Roosevelt, but O'Gorman's done a good job, and the extra point is good with plenty of distance. And the Knights take a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a great drive by Algorn. Like I said, really the main play that Schlimgen run, but they take a nice early lead here in the President's Bowl.
That's just Roosevelt defense will definitely look to bounce back after that. It's the first time they've really been dominated on a drive this year.
Yeah, and Roosevelt's offense really now with their third shot coming up here. That was a nice 4-play, 70-yard drive, like I said, mainly with that Schlimgen run. But Roosevelt's offense looking to answer. Dannenbring, I believe he's completed a pass, but yeah, it hasn't looked that great. The running game outside the one Feldkamp run hasn't looked too impressive, so they're really going to have to try to make a statement here. Still 4 minutes left in the first quarter, but yeah, they're going to want to answer here against, like I said, their arch rivals, OG.
Yeah, and this is where this was Roosevelt's game last year where their season kind of like, they had started so good with their 5-0 start, and then they laid an egg to O'Gorman. Not necessarily like a huge upset. It was definitely an upset, but they got just steamrolled in that game, and the next week they went out to Rapid City and lost to Central, I believe, and next week they have a game against Rapid City Stevens here at Howard Wood Field.
Looks like the ball blew off the tee there, so they'll give him
there is a
another
lot of
shot.
wind outside today, so that could affect. Obviously, field position will affect.
Yeah, all those flags are really blowing crazy right now out on the south end zone.
And the kickoff by Pavlenko, and Large looks like he'll take it out to about the 10, and it'll go to the 20. Oh, there's a flag. This is all going to come back. The 36 multiple flags easily blocking the back. And Roosevelt will likely start at their own 21-yard line. That was a good return by Tucker Large. He was one broken tackle away from possibly going all the way. But we'll go down Jim Ricketts Jr. for the call.
During return, block in the back, 55. After this, it's goal, first down.
Yeah, so like we expected, a block in the back there. And as we were talking about the winds earlier, they're blowing south 14 miles per hour, gusting at 21. So that's going to affect field goals and extra points and even some deep pass attempts. So that's something to watch for today as this game goes on.
Yeah, as Roosevelt's going into the wind right now. So O'Gorman will probably be able to kick long kicks as they have a really good kicker as well. As Dannenbring takes his first somewhat deep shot of the game, and that's completed to Caden Jordan. And that's much needed for Roosevelt. They're just haven't really, and a flag after the play on the closest sideline to us. And that might have been on the Roosevelt sideline over there. He was kind of pointing at
what Ricketts says.
No, he was one of the coordinators. Oh, so no flag, just a sideline warning on the Rough Riders. As Roosevelt will not get affected by that penalty. As they're now at their own 36-yard line with Dannenbring and Feldkamp, looks like he's going to stay out there in the backfield. And like we said, we don't know when Tyree Nave will return, but we know he's not playing this week. So Roosevelt's going to have to try and get by it. His handoff to Feldkamp up the middle, tries to cut left, and he'll lose about a yard. So after those first couple runs, the Knights defense is doing a great job of bottling up Tyler Feldkamp.
Yeah, Feldkamp just, and he's not a natural running back. He's a wide receiver, so like I said, run a couple times with time in between out of the backfield, surprise him, and that might work. But just running him up the middle like a running back there, I don't see that working as well. Stick to passing, or like I said, this backup running back here.
Falcon, they're still giving him, when he's in wide receiver, they're motioning him. Dannenbrand's in trouble, and he fumbles. Picked up by the OG defense, and they're going to have it at about the 10-yard line. So you cannot have that if you're Dannenbrand. You just kind of got to go down or try and get rid of it out of bounds. But he just tries to make a play, and ball got knocked back. And O'Gorman's going to be in prime real estate right now at the Roosevelt 10-yard line.
Yeah, and you could see that one developing as Dannenbrand just not the quickest quarterback, and like I say, essentially try and throw it away or just drop down for the sack, because he just got clobbered, lost the ball, and now O'Gorman in great position to go 14-0 here in the first quarter.
As Schlimgen is in the backfield, hands it off to Wishard. Wishard to the left side gets tripped up by Nathan Moon. And it'll be about a 3-4 yard gain, and it'll set up second and about 7. And O'Gorman they've ran the ball, obviously. This is looking at Roosevelt's schedule, this is their last test. You would assume maybe Harrisburg could give them a fair crack, but other than that, unless Washington could improve by the end of the
season. It's like last year they lost to Rapid City in a game no one thought they'd lose out there, so it's no guarantees here. It's still very early in the season.
Yeah, they go back to Rapid City Central this year too. They play at Rapid City, so that could be a game to watch. As Stevens did win that. Actually, no, they haven't played yet. I was thinking of Watertown, but Gorman. You look at their schedule. They play Lincoln, who could give them a fair shot.
So Washington and Harrisburg. So yeah, it's not. Be interesting to see where we are here at the end of the season. Still a lot of questions, including who the best team is up in the air.
3rd and 2, Roosevelt's got to stand strong. Schlimgen with the keeper. He's got the first down, it looks like, at the 1.
That's going to be pretty close. Yeah, I think he
looked like he got it.
Yeah, cracked the plane.
And actually, they might have actually marked him a little short. Yeah, it looks like they marked short. It'll be 4th and 1. O'Gorman will definitely go for it, you would think. Because if they don't get it, Roosevelt will be pinned back at their own 2-yard line with a running game that is not really done much
prime
today.
Position for a safety right there. So
it'll probably just be a read option here with Schlimgen or Norton.
That's Norton,
That's Norton. He's going in the I formation, it looks like.
Maybe
watch for the play action pass, too. 4th and 1, a quarterback sneak, and he's in for the touchdown. And the Knights have a 2-touchdown lead on the Roosevelt Rough Riders, and this sideline right below us is dead silent right now, as the Knights are wow, unbelievable. As the Lincoln Patriots touchdown comes up for the Hill Gorman Knights.
Yeah, a little error.
Probably don't have one.
Score. Yeah, but.
And Pavelko is with the PAT now to put the Knights up 14-0. And it is up and off the crossbar, or upright, excuse me, no good. So Roosevelt gains 1 point. It's still 13-0 though, with 1:05 left in the first quarter, and you've got to love what O'Gorman's been doing right now on offense.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that last drive wasn't really a great offensive drive. More, the defense set up perfectly at the 10-yard line. They were able to score inside the red zone, but no, they're out of their actual offensive drives. I mean, the Schlimgen 53-yard run was great, but they still haven't put. I mean, outside that, these offenses are still kind of interesting to see if they can drive down the field and score. And Dannenbrand will get his 4th shot here. All 3 drives just not really that great. And the last one, of course, Roosevelt's offensive line has just been getting kind of hammered this game.
Yeah, I don't know. The President's Bowl was 1 week earlier last year, and Roosevelt completely dominated the Washington Warriors last year. And it looks like O'Gorman's just kind of been flipped around for the Rough Riders this year. Yeah,
last year's President's Bowl, Roosevelt ending Washington's historic 34-game win streak with a 29-0 shutout, and then now they're the ones down by 13 here in this year's President's Bowl.
I'm just going to start with running the football. Tyree Nave was so was so effective is, I mean, obviously the running game is not gonna be as good as it normally is, but it just has to be like show up and be able to step up and make some plays for this Roosevelt offense. As it kicks into the back of the end zone, it bounced through the uprights, but obviously doesn't count for any points.
Yeah.
And Roosevelt will start at their own 20-yard line.
And yeah, see if they give I forgot the backup running back. See if they give him some carries.
He's only gotten one, and he lost a yard on the carry. So Joe Turry, let's see if they'll even give him any carries right now. Felkamp is that they might need to pull out a bag of or a play out of the trick bag and try and find some spark for this offense. Pass caught to the left side by Paulson, and it'll gain 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Riders with just under a minute left to go in quarter number 1 of the first game of the President's Bowl.
Yeah, and nice curl out there by Paulson, but yeah, you really need because I know Dannenbrink's got a good arm here, and we'll just see if he eventually tries to air it out here on. I mean, Felkamp's a speedy receiver. Wouldn't surprise me if threw it down to Felkamp 20, 30 yards here, but they are going into the wind, so that is going to affect plays like that.
Ball dropped by Felkamp, but he picks it up. Very fortunate there for the Rough Riders. So O'Gorman could have been inside the 25-yard line for the second straight possession. And let's see if Kim Nelson will give this team a talk at the end of the first quarter, as they just looks like they're still sleeping right now.
Are they calling it? Someone called a timeout, I think. Or are they? Because the clock's not running.
Timeout. Performance. Our second timeout we have. Please add 2 seconds to the game clock. Thank you.
So interesting there. You get the timeout by O'Gorman with 26 seconds left, but you'd think they just let it run out, but both teams are going to switch field positions, and they want Roosevelt to punt in the wind, which I can't imagine is going to yield that good of a punt. So yeah, smart call by head coach Jason Poppinga. But yeah, Roosevelt can show him, complete a pass, get the first down, and
maybe if you're Roosevelt, you run the ball here and make O'Gorman run into timeouts, so they can't use any at the end of the half. But I don't know.
Yeah, they're down to one. Yeah, they're down to one timeout because of the Norton mishap to start on their first drive when he was in the wrong formation, and now Dannenbrink is 5 for 5. It is noted he hasn't missed a pass, but
he hasn't really taken a shot downfield yet. His longest completion was to downfield to Caden Jordan. They will pass on 3rd and 9. Dannenbrink back to pass, takes a shot downfield. Ball is dropped by Felkamp. Nearly had it. Got hit by the safety. That was Preston Knockney that was in there, the sophomore. Or maybe that might have been Zach Norton. I can't tell. But it's 4th and 8. And Vance Borchers will have to punt into the wind for the 3rd time tonight as Roosevelt goes 3 and out for the 2nd time. As that would have been huge for Roosevelt there. So they would have had the ball at midfield, but
yeah, but like I said, watch that deep pass to Felkamp, and they did exactly that. But Tyler just couldn't hold on, and that would have. And now you got to think, especially if O'Gorman scores on this, another kind of what if moment. Oh, that's why you want to punt in the wind if you're O'Gorman.
And O'Gorman will have great field position again. They're going to be inside the 40 at the 37. Wow, though. Roosevelt could possibly be down 20 or 21 to nothing by the end of the first quarter. Well, not by the end of the first quarter, but only a couple minutes into the second quarter.
And Roosevelt's defense really has to step up here. You don't want not even a quarter done. You don't want this game to get out of hand before halftime. Because, the offense hasn't looked too great. And O'Gorman, well, like I said, outside of that one drive, O'Gorman's offense isn't, we'll see how they do here.
As Schlimgen or Norton is back to pass. Looks like it's Schlimgen. Downfield, there's a flag, and it is incomplete going for Sam Stukel. But that could be a hold or a pass interference there on the Rough Riders, and we'll see from Jim Ricketts Jr.
It's going to be defensive holding, I think, is what he's signaling.
Yeah, Roosevelt defense is moving back.
thought Stukel was being held there a little bit.
Penalty, defense, number 5. 7-yard penalty, moves ball to a first down.
I was holding on Tucker Large there, and now penalties are starting to come for the Roosevelt defense. As soon as you thought they had a break, as it was a defensive holding. Now 7 seconds left. O'Gorman will get one more play off before the end of the quarter. Norton does a great job to scramble, has room, but he dumps it off to Tip Riemann, and that'll take it to the end of the first quarter. After one, it is O'Gorman 13, Roosevelt 0. We'll take a break and be back with you in the second quarter. Welcome back to Howard Wood Field in this presentation of high school football. My name is Brent Bowen, and I am joined today by August Mills. Today's broadcast is being produced by Matt May. Our camera operators are Jeff Little, Mark Johnson, and Madison Goff. You can watch this game anytime on the Howard Wood Field YouTube channel. Today's game will rebroadcast on KLearn. And O'Gorman will start with the ball on the Roosevelt 21-yard line, as they got good field position, as the smart coaching there on the sideline forced Borchers to punt into the wind to get good field position. As Schlimgen is back to pass there, almost got tackled, goes to the left towards the 10-yard line, and it'll be down at about the 12, as the pressure there from Dannenbrin, Large, and Ferguson almost got Schlimgen there, but he wiggles out and goes down to the 12-yard line, and O'Gorman's getting ready to score again.
Yeah, really, like you said, Roosevelt's rush defense has been great these first 2 weeks, but O'Gorman, really their quarterbacks, I don't remember a lot of running back plays here, just their quarterback runs have just been really unstoppable here, and now they're, at the 12 looking to score again.
Schlimgen back in the shotgun, takes the snap, short pass right away, but it is incomplete, it is wide. He was going for Logan Jones there, as Roosevelt finally gets everything's been positive for O'Gorman. They've never had a loss. That's only their second incomplete pass of the game, not counting the one that was a penalty on Tucker Large. And it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 12. Let's see if Roosevelt can at least hold it to a field goal and still keep it at 2 possessions. As Schlimgen's in the shotgun with Wishard to his left, hands it off to Wishard to the right side. He's brought down at about the 3-yard line. It'll be about 3rd and 1. And he was brought down by Max Miller there, as he was the only one over there because Joey Hughes was being blocked out wide. So that was Roosevelt's chance maybe to get only hold him to maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain and make it 3rd and long, but now O'Gorman's just going to have 3rd and 1, and it'll be 4-down territory now for the Knights.
Yeah, and I mean, I believe this is Schlimgen here. Yeah, probably just a quick shovel play or a quarterback draw here. That'll probably work for him. 3rd and 1. Schlimgen in the shotgun. Gives it to Wishard. He will be down shorts, I believe. He'll be down at about the 1, but it'll be a 1st down. And there's a flag after the play. So it should stand as a 1st down. But let's see if there could be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty here. And it looks like O'Gorman might be moving back. So it could have been a holding possibly. It could be 3rd and 11. We'll get the call now from Jim Ricketts Jr.
The first Ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct on number 30. 50 yards. First down.
Big break for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. O'Gorman would have had the ball at the 1 yard line, but Wishard threw the ball at one of the Roosevelt defenders that drew an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So now that pushes O'Gorman back to the 16-yard line. Just a stupid penalty that you cannot have.
And these are, like I said, rivals, but that's just, I mean, especially when it's still close at this point, that's just, you don't do that. Now,
O'Gorman still does have first down, though, so it's not like it's third and long. Norton looking for the end zone is underthrown, but it is incomplete. There's a jump ball there. Nathan Moon deflected that away. It looked like that he was going to the end zone for Tip Riemann.
yeah,
but
Riemann was wide open.
Yeah, he was wide open in the corner of the end zone, but it looked like the ball was way underthrown by Zach Norton. As that'll set up a 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. And let's see if Roosevelt can maybe get some pressure in there, as they haven't really gotten close to us. They've gotten close a couple times, but Roosevelt, this is the time where you really need your best players, which are the Kuslers and Brandon Dannenbrain, to step up and make a big play. And try and push O'Gorman back and at least make it a tough field goal.
Wow, so we have another
penalty.
flag, legal man downfield, looks like.
It's the second time today.
Yeah.
And it's 1st and 15. I am a little surprised, though. I am a little surprised that they did accept that. I thought they'd maybe decline it, but that's almost intercepted in and out of the hands of Tucker Large. So now the Rough Riders are glad that they took that penalty because it's 2nd and 15 instead of 2nd and 10. But Large almost got a huge play there for the Roosevelt defense, as that would have been O'Gorman gets a big break, as they're also the wide receivers were going the opposite way from Large. So if he would have took that, he would have had the momentum to get by him and could have gone a long ways the other way.
And that's one of those momentum plays you wish you had back if you're Large. I could make it 13-7 right there, but instead you're back to defending and trying to keep the score, trying to keep the Knights' score at 13.
As Schlingen's back in the shotgun again, gives it to Norton. He's gonna pass towards the end zone. It is intercepted. Joey Hughes at the 1 yard line. He'll be able to return it as well. Cuts back and is down at about the 12, 13 yard line. A huge play for the Roosevelt defense. And we'll see if that can spark something for the Rough Riders as they hold O'Gorman. As Wishard's penalty becomes huge now as the Knights lose out on points. That could have made it a 3-possession game. Great catch by Joey Hughes there. That was a tough play, and he made a great play. And now Roosevelt, they're pinned back, but now the student section's a little fired up. It gets the crowd a little into it. And now let's see if the offense can make a couple big plays and try and put some points on the board.
Yeah, Dannenbrain and company need to have an impressive showing here because defense just got your pick. You got to reward them here.
Dannenbrain shooting downfield. He's got Paulson and Feldkamp there, but neither of them will get it. And it'll fall right in between them. There were 3 Knights out there. And they'll set up at 2nd and 10 from their 12. But now they got 2nd and long. But we'll see. Probably, I mean, it's looking like passing's going to be the plan right now because they haven't been able to run the ball with Feldkamp or Turry, as Turry has 1 carry for -1 yards. Feldkamp has 5 carries for 23 yards, but that also includes his 2 good runs to start the game. But since that, he's probably got 3 carries for about 2 yards. He's 2nd and 10 for Dannenbrain, rolls to his left. He's got Paulson right there, and he'll go to about the 20, and it'll set up about a 3rd and 2 for the Rough Riders, as they desperately need a first down. They've had 3 possessions, I believe, in this game, and 2 of them have been 3 and outs. So Roosevelt, they really need a conversion here, and we'll see what Kim Nelson decides to go with here on 3rd down.
Yeah, 2 were 3 and outs, and another one was a strip sack on Dannenbrain. So you're really looking for, especially 3rd and 2. I mean, this is running, rushing territory. Maybe if you just want, he's gonna go empty backfield here. But
yeah, Roosevelt's this passing game is probably gonna have to lead him to victory today, as he's got nobody in the backfield with him. Dannenbrain takes the pass, looks right, and it's caught by Caden Jordan. Roosevelt. Big play there for the Rough Riders, a 6-yard gain, and it'll be a first down for Roosevelt. Their first one since probably about the 8-9 minute mark of the first quarter. A desperately needed first down. Let's see if the Riders can keep this momentum going and try and, after the Joey Hughes turnover, and see if they can at least put some points up on the board. They're still being shut out. technically at this point they have not scored against the Knights since 2017, unless they got shut out that year too. But I am not sure about that, as Danbury runs the ball a little bit, goes to the right, and will get about 3 yards, and it'll set up about a 2nd and 7. As Danbury last year, he first couple weeks he's started to run the ball a little more. Last year that was his problem. He wasn't really mobile, so he was kind of tough. Like you've seen dual threat quarterbacks in high school football. That's usually a lot. Most quarterbacks in high school football are dual threat quarterbacks.
But that's not him. He's more of a stand in the pocket kind of guy. I mean, he's a center on the basketball team. That should tell you that he's more of the pocket passer here.
Yeah. As it looks like he might start at center this year for the basketball team as well, with Aiden Evans, the senior, leaving. As Danbury takes a snap, play action, looks downfield. He's got Paulson, and he almost makes the one-handed catch, and a flag will come in. And it looked like that might be on Caden Hackman, the defensive back, out there in the secondary. As Roosevelt might have caught a break there and gotten a first down, and it looks like the teams are moving towards the 40-yard line. We'll get the call from Jim Ricketts Jr.
Pass to the third. Offense. Number 17. 10-yard penalty. Play second down.
So that was an offensive pass interference there on Presley Johnson, and now Roosevelt's way back there on their own 15, 2nd and 20. And now Roosevelt has got to gain 20 yards in 2 plays. Danbury back to pass. And he runs up the middle a little bit. There he goes. He's got a little bit of room. Danbury up to about the 32, 33-yard line, and they got all of that yardage back, and that'll set up about a 3rd and 5. It's probably the best run I've seen in Danbury all the time I've been up here calling these games.
Yeah, we just talked about how he isn't much of a dual threat quarterback. Well, he just gained a good 17 yards on that one, put him in a great field position. That's another good thing about when quarterbacks like him do run, they're not as easy to tackle as the faster, slimmer ones like Zach Norton or Schlemgen for O'Gorman. He can take a few hits and keep pounding. And 3rd and short here now for him.
And now Danbury will be alone back there in the backfield with Trips to his left, 2 receivers to his right. O'Gorman looks like, and it'll be a timeout, and looks like by the Rough Riders. So with 7:51 left to go in the 2nd quarter, the Knights still lead the Riders 13-0, but the Riders are starting to move the ball a little bit on offense.
Whether it's more miles, more laps, or more steps, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine has the experts that can help you achieve more of what you love. Visit ChooseTheExperts.com to learn more about how Sanford can help you reach your more. Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, proud to be a supporter of the Sioux Falls School District.
Powerful and playful, delicate and precise.
Ricky Starks. We have found your wallet.
Bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family. To provide options beyond the expected. To help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Orthopedics and Sports Medicine at Sanford Health. Health lives here.
2nd quarter, the Knights lead the Riders 13-0 in this rivalry game. And it's 3rd and 4 for the Rough Riders after Kim Nelson called the timeout. As Joe Turry's in motion to the left. It's a shovel pass to Feldkamp, and he's got room, and he's got the first down. Cuts back to the left side, cuts back in, cuts back again, and is up to midfield. So a shovel pass that looked like it would only go for about 6-7 yards goes for 18, and Roosevelt's got a first down up close to O'Gorman territory.
And that's how you run Tyler Feldkamp out of the backfield. You don't do it every play like they tried to do it at first because he's not a great running back. You run him out every so often to confuse O'Gorman, and that once again works like that. And now they probably should run him until probably the 3rd quarter. But Yeah, Roosevelt has first down. This is, I think, their best drive so far of the day.
Yeah, their opening drive was pretty good, but this is, they start at their own 12. Feldkamp in motion to the right. Danny takes a snap, rolls to his right, fires. It's caught by Feldkamp. It won't go for much. It'll go for about 3 yards, so still positive yardage into O'Gorman territory, and it'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Caden Hackman read that one beautiful. Was Feldkamp had to come back for the ball, and he was never going to get back to where he was, and that's still, gain of 3, but yeah, Dannenbring.
And this passing game, Dannenbring's been very accurate today, as he had one throw downfield that could have been caught by Feldkamp. It was a little underthrown, but we'll see if Kim Nelson keeps it up with the pass game. As Dannenbring's in the shotgun again, takes the snap. They are indeed going to pass it. Dannenbring looking downfield to Feldkamp, and he overshot him. And that'll set up a 3rd and 7. And this probably will not be 4-down territory, as you do not want to give a Knights offense that's been very good the ball at their own 47.
Something I noticed about Dannenbring, too, is he seems to roll to the left a lot, which is interesting. Being a right-handed quarterback, it's easier to run to the right with the momentum, so maybe that's – just curious to see how Dannenbring runs, or I should say rolls in the pocket here. But with 3rd and 7, yeah, he's
got Feldkamp and Paulson to his left now, so wouldn't be a bad idea to roll to the left side if you've got your 2 best receivers over there. 3rd and 7, he's running back Turi's on the left side. Dannenbring takes the snap, rolls to his left. He's getting pressured, gets rid of it, and it is caught by Paulson. Great throw off balance by Dannenbring, and a great job of Paulson to come back and get that ball. So he bails out his quarterback and makes a great catch. And the Rough Riders keep their momentum going with the ball on the O'Gorman 34-yard line. As Dannenbring in the offense going a little no huddle, as he's in the shotgun again with Turi to his right. I don't think he's really been in the I formation at all today. Been in the pistol a few times. Dannenbring takes the snap. He's going to pass again. Looks downfield, and that's in no man's land. And there's a flag down by Dannenbring. So, could be an offensive line penalty, or it could be a roughing the passer. We don't know. And it's on Roosevelt. We'll see the call from Jim Ricketts Jr.
Coleman, offense, number 67. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that'll be a holding call on Sam Coles, and that'll set up a first and 25 from the 49-yard line. It's a holding call. It must have been something else, because holding call is only 10 yards. Could have been chop block or something.
clipping or one of those weird.
Chop block. As Dannenbring in the shotgun again, first and a lot. And he throws right to Jordan, and Jordan gets a lot of that yardage back. You get about half of it, as it will set up a 2nd and 14. So Roosevelt gets 11 yards. So I just piece it up a little bit, as you'll take 10 yards, and you'll get that in 3 plays. And now Roosevelt will just look to maybe cut it about in half again, make it 3rd and 7. This could be 4 down territory right now, excuse me, as they have the ball at the 38. Dannenbring takes a snap, looks right on a quick screen pass. Down the sideline, he's got room. Cuts back, up the sideline, inside the 5, and down at about the 1-yard line goes Presley Johnson on the screen pass. It'll be a 37-yard gain, and Roosevelt is in business now at the 2-yard line. As looks like the Kusel twins are both going to come into the game. And Caleb Dwyer and Brandon Dannenbring, they're sending in the big boys to try and power and a touchdown for the Rough Riders to make it a 1-score game. So you gotta love what Roosevelt's doing right now. Is they were on the ropes until the big penalty and then the interception, and now they're driving.
Yeah, they were just seconds away from probably being down 21-0 here, and
Kusler's bottled up.
Yards. But yeah, and defense responded, and Dannenbring's led a beauty of a drive from all the way back at about the 12-yard line, all the way currently at the 4. And yeah, they're staying in it.
Yeah, we saw this last week too. Roosevelt tried to do this against Lincoln, and they got stopped by that Lincoln defense with Kusler. And it looks like they might try and do it again. As Aaron Kusler is at the quarterback, he'll just run it up the middle again and score! Touchdown, Rough Riders, and it is 13-6. And Roosevelt is right back in this game after they were on the ropes. And the extra point from Bennett Yellowbird, if he makes it, could make it a 13-6 or 7 game. And that extra point could turn out to be huge. The extra point that was off the upright could turn out to be huge for O'Gorman, or for Roosevelt, as if Roosevelt makes both their extra points on touchdowns, they would have the lead instead of being tied. As Bennett Yellowbird on for the extra point. Fumbled the snap, and kick is blocked. And O'Gorman won't be able to return it. But a fumbled, as Nathan Moon, the holder, couldn't quite make a great snap. And now it'll be 13-6, and O'Gorman's extra point won't matter that much.
Yeah, so two missed extra points here. Now, O'Gorman's one we can probably attribute to the win, but Roosevelt's that was just a bad hold there, and so luckily for them it's still a one-possession game, but still a touchdown game without a 2-point. But yeah, great drive though by Brady Dan to bring in the Rough Riders offense here to get them back in this game, to kill that O'Gorman momentum that they had essentially had since the beginning of this game. And now O'Gorman in a great position here, though, because they can get the ball, 4:34 to play in the half, score, and then they get the ball to start the second. So
if you're Roosevelt, you just got to dig in on defense and stop them, get into the locker room down 7, or possibly even get the ball back and get some more points. Right now, you just got to probably try and worry about hold O'Gorman so they cannot go up 2 scores at the break with the ball. And that drive for Roosevelt took 13 plays with 88 yards, and chewed off 5 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock, and it ended in a 4-yard touchdown for Adam Kusler, and key plays were Brady Dan to bring 17-yard run. That was huge. That was on 1st and 25, I believe, and then the screen to Presley Johnson that took it down to the 2. As the kick is off, and O'Gorman's going to return a kick for the first time today. I believe that was Zach Norton, and he's down at the 27-yard line, and that's where O'Gorman will take over, trying to, as they obviously had the interception in the last drive after the Wishard penalty that really killed that drive. They would have had the ball at the 1. They would have just powered it in for a touchdown, and it would have been 21-0.
4:28 to play, which is a decent amount of time, but worth noting the Knights have one timeout due to one being used on offense formation mishap, and the other one trying to get Roosevelt to punt into the wind at the end of the first. So 4:28, a lot of time. They have it at their own 26, but they have to keep an eye on that clock here.
I believe that's Schlimgen back there to pass. It is. Looks to his left. He's coming up. Kusler, that's an incomplete pass. His arm was going forward. Roosevelt will fall on it, but it's an incomplete pass. Very fortunate there for Schlimgen. His arm would have stayed back, and Kusler would have hit him, and he would have lost the ball, and it would have been a fumble, and Roosevelt could have jumped on it and gotten great field position. As it'll be 2nd and 10. This is the Roosevelt pass rush. It really wasn't getting in to Schlimgen or Norton in the first and at the beginning of the second, and now it's kind of starting to come in a little bit and make them make tough passes, trying to just fit it into tight windows. As it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Knights at their own 27. Schlimgen back to pass with trips to his left. Here comes Kusler, and a quick pass out, and he gets by Amir Muhammad, and for a first down for O'Gorman goes
Zach Norton.
And missed the tackle there was missed by Amir Muhammad. Max Miller brought him down, or it might have been Nathan Moon, but it would have been about a 6-7 yard gain if Muhammad would have brought him down. And the Knights now are getting close into Roosevelt territory with 4 minutes left to go. Schlimgen back to pass, looks left, and it is caught. Out there, it's the kicker, actually, Connor Pavelko, who also must also play a little running back, as it'll be about a 4-yard gain, and it'll set up 2nd and 6 from midfield.
Yeah, Pavelko listed as a wide receiver. Yeah, he's the ultimate Swiss Army knife. Plays wide receiver, defensive back, and as a kicker, so he plays on all 3 formations of football.
As Schlimgen back to pass again. We saw them kind of switching for the first quarter and a half. Now it's been kind of mainly Schlimgen lately. As he's back to pass. Play action and wide open up the middle. And is caught for another O'Gorman first down. As now they're driving at the Roosevelt 37. And as Zach Norton has another catch. And he's just, he was the quarterback last year, but he's been very effective for O'Gorman playing wide receiver today. As now O'Gorman's trying to hurry up a little bit. As Schlimgen's back with Wishara to his right. Roosevelt almost jumped off sides.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they're going to get him on that.
It looked like it was either Lane Ferguson. It might have been Lane Ferguson there. They might have gave that on Joey Hughes. Looked like that was up front. As it'll be 1st and 5 now from the 32-yard line, and now they just have to gain 5 yards for a first down. Schlimgen back to pass, looking left, steps up and is brought down by Caleb Dwyer, and that'll be about a 1-yard loss for the Knights, maybe not even a yard. Yeah, they gave them a 1-yard loss, so it will count as a sack for the Roosevelt defense. That'll set up 2nd and 6 from the 33-yard line, but they are against the wind, so they probably wouldn't be able to make a kick from here. But their kicker can make a 50 or 49-yard field goal. So with the wind, he could easily make a 50-yarder. As we saw in that extra point, he had plenty of distance. It almost went out by the flags. It's now 2nd and 6. Back, Schlimgen back, looking downfield. That's way over the head of Logan Jones, and that'll set up a 3rd and 6. So it was 1st and 5, and Roosevelt gets a sack by Dwyer and an incomplete pass, and now it's 3rd and 6, and they're a stand away from possibly getting out of this drive.
Yeah, and both quarterbacks seem to have problems overthrowing the receivers today on both ends of the field, so it's not just a win thing. I think it's just some little mechanics that both are going to have to fix in the locker room here. But Roosevelt trying to get that stop because, like I said, this is not field goal range, but probably 4-down range.
Yep, it's 3rd and 6 now. They're probably just going to try and get part of this. Let's go for on 4th down. Schlimgen back to pass. Almost got rocked as Jones juggles, but he won't make the catch. And he might, even if he caught it, he might have been out of bounds. Don't know if he would have got a foot in. That'll set up 4th and 6 for the Knights, and it looks like they're definitely going to go for it. The offense is staying out on the field. So this is right here. This is where Roosevelt's defense needs to just clamp down and get a stop. 4th and 6, get the offense back on the field because the pass game's been working well. If you can get a stop here, get the ball back, and
you'd have about 2 minutes and 2 timeouts. That's enough time to get, and you'd be going in
with the wind.
Yeah, with the wind. So.
And I'm not sure what high school rules are if Roosevelt stays with the wind in the 3rd quarter or if they wait till the 4th quarter. Not 100% sure on that. Flinging back the pass, looking downfield again. That ball is caught by Sam Stugel. Touchdown, Knights. And O'Gorman gets a big play there. As Roosevelt was just one play away, and they took a shot all the way down to the end zone. And does a perfect pass. And just snuck by Joey Hughes there. And O'Gorman now has a 2-score lead once again, but still a minute 56 left. It's enough time for the Riders with 2 timeouts to come back and score again.
It honestly looked like Schlimgen might have overthrown him, but no, Stugel's just right there at the right time and
put a lot of air on it.
Yeah.
And he
missed that. Oh no, he got it.
Yeah, after it might not have looked good, but it's good, and it is now 20-6 with 1:56 left to go. But of course, you got Tyler Feldkamp out there that could return anything to midfield. That usually returns everything to at least a 30. So you got to think if you can maybe bust one to the 40 or 50.
Yeah, you have 1:56 and 2 timeouts. You have enough time to go in on, it's a 14-point game to go into halftime down by 7. But we'll see if OG's defense can clamp down here. Roosevelt has had one okay drive, one really good drive, and the rest have just been really bad. So we'll have to see which version of the Roosevelt offense we get here.
Roosevelt's ready to receive the kick, but O'Gorman is still huddling up on the sideline. I don't know what the wait's about, but they will kick off eventually from the 40, and they have to go against the wind at the kickoff, so they might only go to the 15-20 yard line.
But they do have that. They do have the great kicker. So this might, it'll probably be a little better
than usual. Yeah.
Yeah, than usual. So it's at the
Kickoff from the 40. So yeah. We'll see if Roosevelt can maybe get a big gain here, try and score by the end of the half. Not sure where. They probably need to get to about the 20 to be in Yellowbird's range. So Feldkamp and Large out there. You also, maybe Roosevelt throws out a trick play there here in this drive, try and get a big play. Kickoff, it'll be up to about the 10-15 yard line. It is received by Large, goes to the left side, cuts back to the 30, to the 35, 40, 45, and it'll be down to about the 44, and there's a good return, and now there could be a little momentum for the Roosevelt offense to possibly score again by the end of the half, and we'll probably see them go no huddle now, because they still got a minute 48 with 2 timeouts. Plenty of time to score a touchdown here, go 50-60 yards, especially if you can get a big play like the screen with Presley Johnson or the Brady Dannebreen run. And we are probably going to assume all passes until maybe they get to the 1 or 2. Then maybe they try a power run. Brady Dannebreen in the shotgun. He's back to pass. Looks to run, and he's brought down for about a 3-4 yard loss as O'Gorman has another sack on defense. Only a 3 yard loss, though, so it's still 2nd and 13.
That's not what you want, though. Yeah, on this. I mean, luckily Large gave him a great return, but yeah, you're going to have to really run this no huddle here. And they're sort of running that. They're taking
a little time, man.
Yeah.
It's down to a minute 15. It'll be at least a minute 15 by the time they snap it. Dannebreen takes the snap, looks left, it throws in, and it's caught by Caden Jordan, who's made a few catches today. That's a first down for the Rough Riders. He had a good pass there by Dannebreen, and he had to throw it over a defender and in front of 2 defenders. And they're up to the 41 yard line. Jordan got out of bounds, stops the clock. And now they're going to hurry up a little bit. And Dannebreen back in the shotgun again with trips to his right or one receiver to his left. Dannebreen looks right, goes up the field to Jordan again. He's made a lot of catches in this game, and he's got a 13 yard gain up to the 32. And now Roosevelt to go a little no huddle again. As they're driving again, as you've got to like what they're doing with Brady Dannebreen in the pass game. Clock is running down to 53 seconds. Dannebreen with trips to his right, takes the snap, looks back, looks to the right, again tipped on the line of scrimmage up there by Jacob Schwab. And it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 32 yard line. Still 48 seconds with 2 timeouts, still plenty of time. No reason to get all frazzled right now. And yeah, Roosevelt's, hopefully you can at least get 3, just get into the locker room, just kind of calm down your players and try and change plan a little bit, and O'Gorman will call a timeout. And we'll take a quick break here with 48 seconds left in the second quarter. It is Roosevelt 6, or actually O'Gorman 20, Roosevelt 6, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Howard Wood Field in this presentation of high school football. And Roosevelt, or O'Gorman called the timeout there. That's their final one of the half. They probably wouldn't have needed it on offense anyways. As Dannebreen is back to pass on the shotgun again, as 2 receivers to his right and left. Dannebreen takes a snap, looks downfield, miscommunication, and he just overshoots him in the end zone. I think even if he would have done a straight go route, it still might have been over his head. And it'll be 3rd down and 10, and this will definitely be 4 down territory. I think if O'Gorman would take it over from the 32, they wouldn't be too aggressive. They'd probably just run the ball and see if they can break a big run.
Yeah, that was, it seems like we've had a few miscommunications here on some of these passing plays with Dan bringing them, but 42 seconds, 3rd and 10, see what Roosevelt's got here.
3rd and 10, Dan bringing back the pass, looks middle, and it's intercepted. Oh, no, incomplete, called incomplete. It said it hit the ground, yeah. I thought Norton definitely caught that. I thought he got his hands under that, but
and it looked like it hit the ground behind, just a split second before.
See the replay over there. You can't really do. It's kind of a long view from up here, but it looked like he caught that. But they say incomplete. The official did call it from behind, so he could have had a tough angle. But 4th down and 10. Roosevelt needs 10 yards here, up to the 22. Danny bringing the 2 receivers to his left and right. Takes the snap. O'Gorman with good pressure again. Over the middle. Oh, that looked like interference.
They're not going to throw anything.
And there's a turnover on downs.
And you got to believe O'Gorman's just going to take a run or take a knee, and we're going to go into half 20-6.
Yeah, if you're O'Gorman, you definitely are satisfied with this first
half. Great half, and they get the ball to start the second. So, yeah, O'Gorman in great position in this first President's Bowl game.
I thought the defensive back hit Caden Jordan before the ball came to him, but I guess no call. So Roosevelt got a break first, and then with that kind of close catch or no catch, and then O'Gorman got a break with that possibly no call pass interference, and O'Gorman takes a knee, and that'll be the end of the first half. I guess not yet. But yeah, they're going to let the clock run out, and that will be the end of the first half with the score of O'Gorman 20 and Roosevelt 6. We'll see if Roosevelt will make any adjustments in the second half. O'Gorman will start the second half with the ball, and that's the first half. 20-6. We'll be back in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please direct your attention to midfield? For today's halftime performance, we have some very special guests. The spirit teams from Roosevelt, Lincoln, and Washington have been working hard all morning with an extra talented group of junior cheerleaders. These kids have spent the morning having fun and learning these spirit routines just for you. Please welcome these junior cheerleaders. Thank you, ladies. Let's give the junior cheerleaders a round of applause. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please direct your attention to midfield as participants in the Roosevelt High School competitive dance team perform their 2019 routine. Ladies and gentlemen, the Roosevelt High School dance team.
Welcome back to Howard Wood Field in this presentation of high school football. My name is Brent Bowen and I'm joined today by August Mills. You can watch this broadcast anytime on the Howard Wood Field YouTube channel. Today's game will rebroadcast on K-Learn. Today's broadcast is being produced by Matt May. Our camera operators are Jeff Little, Mark Johnson, and Madison Goff. You can watch this game anytime on the Howard Wood Field YouTube channel. And some first half stats here for both teams is Schlimgen is 6 for 11 with 86 yards and a touchdown, and also has 4 carries for 63 yards. Zach Norton is 1 for 3 for 6 yards with 1 interception, and also has 3 carries for 8 yards and a touchdown, and 3 catches for 39 yards. Sam Stukel has 1 carry for 8 yards in the big 33-yard touchdown catch. Connor Pavelka has 1 catch for 4 yards. Logan Jones has 1 catch for 10 yards, and Tate Richard has 5 carries for 25 yards and a touchdown. Brady Danbury is 13 for 20 with 142 yards and has 5 carries for -1 rushing yards. Michael Paulson has 4 catches for 35 yards. Tyler Feldkamp has 6 carries for 41 yards and 3 catches for 8 yards. Kusler has the touchdown run. Presley Johnson has the 36-yard catch on a screen, and Caden Jordan has 5 catches for 63 yards. And we're getting ready to start the third quarter with Vance Borchers kicking off. He'll kick off into the wind, as O'Gorman will start the third quarter going into the wind, but then Roosevelt will have to finish the game going into the wind. As Borchers ready to kick off for the second half. And we're underway with the second half. And Stukel is back to receive the kick. Going towards the right, looked like a possible block in the back. Cuts back. Another missed tackle. Cuts back middle and will go to about the 30-yard line. So it looked like Roosevelt might have had him wrapped up. But good job by Stukel to gain about 10 more yards and give them decent field position.
Yeah, and first half, O'Gorman rode momentum for about the first quarter and a half until they were about to go up 21-0, but got intercepted in the end zone. Dannenbring led a great drive, and then Roosevelt almost held O'Gorman again and would have been in a position tied, but O'Gorman got a 4th down touchdown. So momentum, O'Gorman's up by 14, but still anyone's game here as we start this second half.
Schlimgen was the main quarterback through the second quarter. They kind of split in the first quarter. Schlimgen goes left and is caught by Norton, and he breaks a tackle. He'll get bottled up a little bit, but he'll still gain 10 yards, and that should be enough for an O'Gorman first down.
Yeah,
and we've really only seen O'Gorman take 1 shot down the field.
Yeah, no, Schlimgen hasn't really taken shots on the field, but Norton right there with a great catch. We'll see. I think they'll keep Schlimgen in most of the time by quarterback. I don't think they'll rotate as much this second half.
And that's a toss to Wishard, and he is bottled up behind the line of scrimmage. A rare loss of yardage for the Knights as Tucker Wolf was in there on the tackle. Let's see if Roosevelt can take advantage of this 2nd and 11. Maybe this is the time right now where you need to force a big turnover. Had the ball about the 50. And we'll see what the Knights will respond with on their own 39-yard line, 2nd and 11. As Schlimgen's back with Wishard to his left. Fakes and miscommunication. That's going to be over the head of Norton. Maybe not miscommunication, but he definitely overshot Norton, and it'll be 3rd and long for the Knights from their own 39-yard line on the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and not really miscommunication. Just a great job defensively by Roosevelt there. Not too much of miscommunication. They are going into the wind, so you do think with this wind, how much a factor does that have with some of these passes? But because there were a couple of overshots in the first quarter or first half by both these teams.
It's starting lawn now, and Connor Pavelka is the only receiver out to the left. And Schlimgen's back in the gun, and Roosevelt might have jumped off sides. I don't know. Looks like it's going to be a false start. And yeah, O'Gorman's going back, and it'll be 3rd and 16 now. And the Rough Riders will probably burn a lot of pressure now on 3rd and 16. And we'll see the call from Jim Ricketts, and it's certainly a false start penalty on the Knights. And let's see if Roosevelt now can step up and make a play on 3rd and 16.
3rd and long, why not just send a blitz, or you got to assume it's going to be a passing play here. And Roosevelt looks to be doing that.
Still only one receiver wide in Pavelka. Schlungen's in the gun, and looks like Roosevelt. No, they're gonna bring pressure, and away sails Pavelka, and a 3-and-out for the net. Actually, they had a first down, but a stop for the Roosevelt defense, and now they should get the ball back as O'Gorman has to punt into the wind, so they could get the ball about the 40-yard line here, especially with the dynamic returner in Feldkamp, as Zach Norton is back to punt.
Zach Norton punting, huh? Yeah, that's really ultimately the Swiss Army knife right there with him punting, but
yeah,
I don't.
Just got the kicker left, but it'll be back to punt, and kind of shanked it a little bit to the right. Just got to let that go, and
just past
he'll touch it at about the 49-yard line. If you would let that go, that could have hit Tucker Large. It could have either hit Seth Miller or Tucker Large there, but 49-yard line, the Rough Riders have good field position now to possibly make it a one-score game and get right back in this thing.
And we'll see what Dannenberg and them have. Feldkamp will start in the backfield. We've seen him, or actually no, it's not Feldkamp. That's
It's Joe Turry.
Yeah, Joe Turry. We'll see how much he gets. He had only one or two carries in the first half.
Option to Turry cuts back, and it'll be bottled up at about the line of scrimmage. Still nothing really going there today for Turry. As it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Riders from their own 49-yard line. And we assume Roosevelt's just going to try and stick with the pass game for as much as they can in the second half, because he was working in the second quarter really a lot. They got some big plays on screen passes, and it was overall successful. They'll look to keep that up now in the second half, especially down 2 scores.
And see how Dannenberg going with the win, see if he can maybe chucks one up to Feldkamp here.
Dannenberg looks to Paulson. Paulson makes the catch. And there's a flag down there at about the 45. Could be a hold. As Michael Paulson's, he's really turned himself into a great receiver this year for the Rough Riders. And it looks like the offense is going back.
Yeah, they weren't at first, but slowly but surely.
Legal man downfield. So they're doing what O'Gorman did.
Third time we've seen that today. Yeah, legal man downfield.
It's the first time with the Riders. The Knights did it twice in the first quarter.
You shouldn't really have. I mean, that's one that, maybe one mistake, but to have it twice, especially for O'Gorman, it's just sort of like, that's just kind of basic fundamentals not to have that. But
now it'll be 2nd and long for Roosevelt. Just a 5-yard penalty for the Riders, but you still face 2nd and 15. But the way Dannenberg threw the ball in the first quarter, that's 2nd and 15's easily capable for the Rough Rider offense. Because Dannenberg will have trips to his right and a single receiver to his left, which is Michael Paulson. Joe Turry's in the backfield with Feldkamp in the slot. And Roosevelt will probably just try and get part of this back. They might have Paulson on a downfield go route. They're not going to. Dannenberg steps up to run, and he won't get much. He'll get about a yard or two. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it, and it'll be 3rd and long. I thought maybe the defender was playing up close to Paulson. I thought maybe he could have burned him and had a go route and possibly down the field, because really there was no one over there. It was 1 versus 1 coverage, but Paulson does slant route.
And Dannenberg not the most elusive in the pocket there. Yeah, and Roosevelt's offense line has been good today, and other times has really struggled. So, yeah, like I said, Dannenberg, one good. When he does run, he's hard to take down, but he's not really able to evade the lineman in the backfield, sort of.
3rd and long now for the Rough Riders. Dannenberg with 2 receivers on each side. Back to pass. Looks downfield. He's going to take a shot downfield, and it's incomplete.
Another overthrowing. But no, that was Wayne could have had a play in that. But, Dannenberg has overthrown at least 3 people now.
And now it's 4th and 15. Definitely a punt situation now, but Borchers will be punting with the wind from about his own 30. What I've noticed with Borchers, at least over these past 2 weeks, he's not standing as far back as a typical punter. I don't know if that's with the lawn snapper or I don't know, but did have a punt blocked last week against Sioux Falls Lincoln, and they started with the drive at the 10-yard line. And he's had a few today also that have been almost blocked. And that's returned over to the left side by Bird. Bird to about the 30 to 32, and it'll be down about the 32, 33-yard line. And that's where the Knights will take over for their second drive of the game, or the second half, excuse me. And last drive, it was a good drive for the Roosevelt defense to kind of bounce back after a rough first half. But you got to think they could be down 3 scores right now if they didn't have that big interception.
Yeah, no, O'Gorman was making this look like it was going to be almost runaway President's Bowl game, but no, luckily for Roosevelt and for the fans here in attendance, it's still close and exciting. 8 minutes to play in the third.
Up the middle to Wishard, and he's going to be wrapped up for no gain at the line of scrimmage. And all you're asking for as a Roosevelt fan is just a chance. Just a chance to make it a 1-score game, get the ball back in the fourth quarter down by a score. Let your offense maybe try and make a play and tie this game up.
Yeah, you still have plenty of time to make this.
Yeah. 20 minutes still.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. 2nd and 10 now for the Knights. As both teams, this is almost, you feel like this is their toughest. As both teams have already played Brandon Valley, you feel like for both teams this is their toughest remaining game on their schedule. Back Schlimgen, quick pass to the left, and it hit the ground. Fell a little short of Sam Stuckel, and it'll be 3rd and long for the Knights, which they've had 3rd and long on both their drives to start the second half. And we'll see what O'Gorman calls on 3rd and 10. Important 3rd down and 10 for both teams, especially for Roosevelt, because they want to take advantage of field position with the wind as long as they can. Probably at least make it a 1-score game by the fourth quarter when they have to go with the wind. So 3rd down and 10 now. Schlimgen will have trips to his right and one guy to his left. Shard in the backfield, 3rd and 10. Should be an obvious pass situation. Roosevelt blitzes 4. Not much pressure. Looking downfield for Stuckel. Little contact there with Nathan Moon, but it falls incomplete with no flag. And the Rough Riders force a 3 and out. And they'll get the ball back with hopefully for them, good field position.
Yeah, so 3 total possessions here in the 3rd quarter, and defense has essentially won all 3 of them. It's we really got to see what Roosevelt can bring here. Dannenbring, they start out with a great field position. Dannenbring got sacked, and there was legal man downfield, and that sort of killed the drive. See what Roosevelt has up its sleeve for this next one.
There's the punt from Norton, almost blocked. It was a high, pretty short punt. And it takes a bounce, going bounce, almost at Feldkamp. And the Rough Riders will start at about their 34-yard line, so not horrible field position again for Brandon Dannenbring in the offense. Trying to get, the wind has died down a little bit, so it won't be as much of a factor in the second half, but it's still blowing a little bit. And it wouldn't hurt to be with it, but it's definitely not as bad as it was, as the flags are no longer blowing too hard right now out here at Howard Wood Field. It's a pretty open stadium field, so
and not too much protection from trees or buildings or.
There's the Premier Center right here, but that's not going to help it.
Yeah, no.
And that's going to be a short gain to Michael Paulson, or Preston Johnson, excuse me, and it'll be 2nd and about 7 from the 37 for the Rough Riders. As these short passes have worked out well, they haven't really completed a long pass downfield. Their longest play was about 37 yards on the screen pass.
Yeah, no, it's sort of short passing plays for Dannenbring, and then we'll see if that changes here.
As Dannenbring has 2, as Feldkamp and Turry to him, and he loses the ball. And the Knights will have great field position again. Dannenbring with the 2nd fumble, and that's a killer for the Roosevelt offense. That'll be the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Brady Dannenbring not the best start to his President's Bowl, his final President's Bowl, with 2 lost fumbles. It'll be interesting to see now if Roosevelt's defense can step up and return the favor, or at least hold O'Gorman, or if O'Gorman can make this.
Field goal still makes it a 3-possession game. That's the thing right now.
Yeah.
That mixed extra point for Roosevelt's going to turn out huge for the Rough Riders now. There's a keeper for Schlimgen, and the defense has recovered well in the second half at least. That's a positive sign for the Rough Riders. As those Dwyer there on the tackle looked like. And it'll be 2nd and 10, from 2nd and 11 from the 35-yard line. As probably can't kick a field goal from here, but.
No, especially with the wind. No, this is 52 with wind, so that's not going to happen today. But no, keep that in mind for the fourth quarter. If depending on where O'Gorman is.
Norton in motion.
Velka.
They hand it off to Wishard, and he breaks a tackle, and we'll have a 1st down. Wishard breaks another tackle inside the 10. Touchdown, O'Gorman. And that might have just That might have just salted the game away right there.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard. But still 17 and a half minutes in the game, not over yet. But no, right now for Roosevelt, this next offensive drive is when you step up or essentially you just ride out the last 15 or 17 minutes, because this is, 20-point game right here, about to be 21 if Pavelko can make this.
The PAT is up and good right down the middle, and the Knights take a 21-point lead. Now Roosevelt will really need a score.
So both Dannenbring's turnovers have resulted in scores for O'Gorman. That's just, that's not his fault, especially not the first one. He just got slammed into by the defensive lineman. But that one, just a costly turnover by Dannenbring.
You got to think if points stuff, well, I guess there's only been 2 touchdowns that have
Unrivaled agility and SDN's managed cybersecurity services help Hank connect and serve all of his office locations with ease. Up your IT game with SDN's reliable broadband network. Enjoy the uptime.
block ended in a Tate Wishard 35-yard run. So now the Roosevelt Rough Riders are definitely in desperate need of a bounce back right now.
Yeah, Rough Riders are.
With a good kickoff return.
Yeah, look for Tyler Feldkamp here, especially like I said with their starting running back out the back. With Tyree Nave out and Joe Turry not really getting too many. I mean, it's not like he's played horribly. They really haven't ran the ball with Turry at all. So it's essentially the game's been placed into Dannenbring's lap, and he's expected to win it. So we'll see if Roosevelt maybe runs a little more here. If they just, you're down by 21 with 5 minutes left. Yeah, you are in the third. Probably passing.
Short kick.
Oh yeah.
Roosevelt's we fumble! And it looked like Roosevelt might have recovered that, and they did. Very fortunate, though. Brandon Dannenbring went off his hands, but looked like, bounced on it. Dannenbring pounced right on it, and Roosevelt will start at 35. O'Gorman, that's probably worse field position for Roosevelt than them kicking deep to Feldkamp or Large there. As 27-6 Knights on top of the Riders with 5:40 left in the third quarter. Is O'Gorman's just the last 2 years has seemed to dominate the Rough Riders, and Feldkamp off the carry is gonna try to pass, and he's gonna get absolutely nothing.
And not just nothing.
13-yard loss.
Wow. And that's when you're Tyler Feldkamp, and that's a trick play, a little pass by Feldkamp. You fall down where you can fall down for a loss of 3 yards, or you can fall down for a loss of 14 yards, like he just did, because he thought he could get out of it, run away, and that wasn't happening.
And you see some of those crazy turning around, running across the field, and turning into very positive runs, but that was not the case.
Feldkamp thought that could be a highlight reel play, and that ended up just being a disaster.
Dannenbring the pass back to Feldkamp, and he'll get a couple yards back at least, and gain about 5-6. They'll give him forward progress to about the 28, and that'll set up a 3rd and long, about 3rd and 17.
And you can start seeing this. They call them the Lincoln Crazies for a reason. The Lincoln students are already, with still 4 minutes left in the third quarter of the first game, they're starting to pack in here, and you have a little strain of Washington students coming in here. So President's Bowl,
the game doesn't start for another hour, 45 minutes too, a long time still.
But one of the most exciting days for high school football, great tailgates and all that.
Brad Dannenbring looking down the field in 3rd and 17, and it's intercepted. Now intercepted by Caden Hackman, and that's just the nail in the coffin right there, I think, at least. 21-point game, all Knights right now, with 4:15 left to go in the third quarter. Dannenbring with his 3rd turnover of the game, 2nd of the second half. And not looking very good right now for the Rough Riders. Easily, they've just not been on their game today. Obviously this is the toughest opponent possibly on their schedule, but I don't know. The Rough Riders have just not been on their game today. It's kind of what happened last year. This was their game last year that also kind of turned their season around, and there's a big hit there from Tucker Wolf.
Well, what essentially that drive was killed on the first play when Roosevelt tried a trick play. Yeah, why not? You're down by 21. Try a trick play, get some momentum. But Feldkamp, when it was pretty obvious it wasn't going to work out, still tried to make some crazy play out of it and essentially kill the drive by losing 14 yards. And yeah, it's just been a rough day all around for Roosevelt. Just not,
Now, give credit to the Knights because their offensive line's been great with the pressure today. As you think the Kusler twins have not really, I don't think they've even recorded a sack, maybe one. Not very many tackle for losses. They've kept them quiet in this game on the defensive end. Incomplete, he's going for Wishard. And it'll be third and long for the Knights from their own 48-yard line. And Roosevelt, I wouldn't say they're not quite done yet, but they need to start moving the ball in offense like they were at the last half of the second quarter, even their first drive of the third quarter. Now there's just no energy on the sideline right now whatsoever. As maybe an interception, something. They need something to try and turn this game around, to at least try and compete. They're just starting 15 now, though. Schlimgen back to pass. Intercepted by Kusler going down the sideline at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's going to be out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Just as I was literally just talking about it, the team needed a spark, and Aaron Kusler comes up with the spark, and Roosevelt is in prime real estate right now.
And you have an injured Knight, and the player's kind of waving to get a trainer over there. I think is that Schlingen? Yeah, it's Tegan, I think.
Might be an offensive lineman, possibly.
Oh, yeah,
I think it looks like. I'm not sure. We will take a quick break, and we will get back to you whenever we are ready to continue play. Welcome back to Howard Wood Field in this presentation of high school football. The injured player there for the Knights was Tate Wishard, and he is up moving on his own power. And it'll be first and goal for the Riders from the O'Gorman 6, and obviously, it's pretty obvious. Roosevelt absolutely needs to score here to try and get back in this thing. Kusler with the keep to the right will get down to about the 4, as Roosevelt will try and punch it in. We'll probably be, it'll definitely be 4-down territory. No reason to kick a field goal here. So you can only get touchdowns, and they'll probably go for extra points. Yeah, they will go for extra points.
Yeah, because it's 21. So yeah, we'll see. And
got the big boys on the field.
Yeah, not really trying to hide what they're gonna do here. Just essentially direct last snap to Kusler and run it in.
Kusler up the middle, and he is might have been a yard short. They'll call him. Oh wow, that is about the half-yard line.
Inch, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just quarterback sneak right here with Kusler. They have to gain a half a yard in 2 plays. It's going to be tough for O'Gorman to stop this when you got possibly one of the biggest and the strongest players in South Dakota. And Kusler, if you can punch this in here, we'll have both the Roosevelt touchdowns. 3rd and 1, Kusler takes it up the middle. Touchdown, Roosevelt. Aaron Kusler with the 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Rough Riders are right back in this thing with making it a 2-possession game. And an extra point will make it a 14-point game. As the Aaron Kusler interception is huge for the Rough Riders to get back in this thing. And now they're 1 defensive stop away, and maybe this could be a game again. As Nathan Moon had trouble with the snap on the last PAT, as we'll see if they can improve that here. It's Bennett Yellowbird on for the extra point. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good, and the Rough Riders make it a 14-point game. So they're right back in this thing with 14 minutes and 13 seconds left to go. You got a chance still. You're not dead yet. Still got 3 timeouts too.
Yeah, that was a great A great offensive drive there by Roosevelt, and well, really, actually, I shouldn't say that. It wasn't a great offensive drive. It was once again Roosevelt with Kusler, who you had said earlier I hadn't seen much of them. Well, they finally showed up here. One of them got the pick all the way down the 3-yard line, and then ran it in. So Roosevelt, yeah, down by 14, still their game. It's just, can their defense hold O'Gorman, and can the offense respond right after? Because the defense works sometimes, the offense works sometimes, but they don't seem to be working together all the time.
And once again, there's points scored off of turnovers.
Yeah.
There's only been, I'm pretty sure, two touchdowns that have been scored that did not happen because of a turnover. So Roosevelt's defense might need to make a couple more big plays to get the team back in this game right now. I mean, the offense still made a great drive, though, after the interception. Still had to go 88 yards and did that. We just haven't really seen that, though. It's been their only consistent drive of the game. Borchers to kick off with the wind. And good kick inside the 10-yard line will be returned by Norton. Norton to the right side. And he's tackled at about the 22-yard line. Good coverage there by the Rough Riders. And that was actually Sam Stukel there, not Zach Norton. And the Knights will take over on their own 22-yard line. And the Rough Rider defense back out here trying to get another stop and get the offense back on the field quick and get the defense back on the sideline. As Schlimgen back on the field again for the Knights. We haven't seen Zach Norton at quarterback yet in the second half. But he's got two receivers to his right, one to his left. It's a handoff there to the left side. Tackle missed by Max Miller, but he only gained about a couple yards after that. As that was Connor Pavelko, on the carry for about 4 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 6 now for the Knights from their own 26.
Yeah, and this O'Gorman, their offense hasn't been really outside the one passing touchdown, hasn't been hugely with the pass. Really, we haven't seen Tegan Schlimgen run since his big 53-yard touchdown run, and I'm surprised about that. You'd think, if it ain't broke, why aren't you fixing it? But
Schlimgen takes a snap, looks left, looks for the fade. That is incomplete. Good coverage there by Tucker Large, and ball is thrown out of bounds. And that'll set up a big 3rd down now for the Knights. As Roosevelt really needs to stop here, get off the field, and put the offense back on the field. Even though it has struggled, but you want to try and maybe wear down their defense a little bit, and that might help out your offense a little bit. And they'll set up 3rd down and 6.
Big 3rd down for Roosevelt's defense. See if they can shut it down. O'Gorman, not that, pretty far back in their own territory with punting into the wind. So it's great position for Roosevelt to stop and get the ball back to Dannenbring.
Yeah, 3rd and 6, 4 seconds left, and O'Gorman's going to have to burn a timeout as O'Gorman's coach is really frustrated again on the sideline. It's just confusion again is why he had to burn one timeout in the first half because of confusion, one in the second half now. 1:24 left to go in the third quarter. O'Gorman 27, Roosevelt 13. We will be back after the timeout. And you are watching Sioux Falls Roosevelt and O'Gorman on Kaler. Presentation of high school football. Big 3rd down and 6 here for the Knights. A handoff up the middle, and he's not going to get it. A questionable play call there on 3rd and 6. Maybe trying to confuse the Roosevelt defense, but Roosevelt's got a 3 and out, and they've got the ball back. So just one good offensive drive, and it's a 1-score game.
Yeah.
And they'll have to punt into the wind again. So it's not looking horrible right now for
Tyler
Roosevelt.
Feldkamp's due for a really big play. He had one on the very first play from scrimmage on the game, but he's been kind of quiet since. Maybe a long punt return here.
Punted by Norton, not a bad punt at all. It'll roll, take a good Roosevelt bounce. Oh, he touched it, but they're going to give it to him at the 36. Looked like somebody touched it at about the 38. But Roosevelt still. Oh, no, they're going to give it at the 38. 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Roosevelt is trailing by 2 touchdowns to the Knights. But they're at the 39, and you gotta, if they can kind of just string together some big plays like they were in the second quarter, this game's not over at all, because still got 12 minutes 45 seconds left to go in this game. Danbury looks left to Feldkamp on a screen. Feldkamp cuts back towards the left side, and it will have a first down to the 47-yard line. 39 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Roosevelt they'll have one more play in the third quarter probably, and they'll let it go to the end.
So they're already in O'Gorman territory, so that's good. Hopefully you can get that quick touchdown to start the fourth if you're Roosevelt.
Another screen pass to Presley Johnson this time down the sideline. Johnson goes out of bounds, and see if Roosevelt will try and get one more play or not. They probably could. Yeah, they could easily by the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, they'll have the clock stopped here.
Well, they might start the clock once they blow the whistle. No, clock will stop. Yeah, Roosevelt will have to run another play.
Yeah, but he was tackled out of bounds.
I think you'd want to run another play too to try and just.
Oh yeah. You want to be as far downfield as you can.
10 seconds left on the play. Bad snap. Danbury just has to fall on it, and now Roosevelt will probably take it to the end of the quarter. Third and 11 now is easily be 4 down territory.
That was not too much on Danbury. It was just, like I said, a bad snap, and Brady did it a lot of times, so he just fell on it. So
Nick Bunkers is the center. A little off snap. I don't think Roosevelt should try and get another snap off.
Nah, they'll walk off.
They'll walk it off. You want to get a good play off on 3rd and 11. At the end of 3, 1 quarter left to go here at Howard Wood Field in the opener of the President's Ball. It is 27-13 Knights over the Riders. Welcome back to Howard Wood Field in this presentation of high school football. Some stats after the third quarter. Not a whole lot changed for Roosevelt, except Brady Danbury added another fumble and an interception and a few more yards. He's now at 152 for 17 out of 26. Tyler Feldkamp has 8 carries for 34 yards and 4 catches for 22 yards. Then Feldkamp in motion on 3rd and 11 plays blown dead. Looks like that might be a false start. Anyways, Caden Jordan has 5 catches for 63 yards. Presley Johnson has 3 catches for 44 yards. And it's a false start. And for the Knights, Schlingen is 7 for 9 for 96 yards and a touchdown and a pick, and 5 carries for 62 yards. Zach Norton has 4 carries for 3 yards and a touchdown and 4 catches for 49 yards. And Sam Stukel has the 33-yard touchdown catch. And Tate Wishart has 8 carries for 59 yards. And that's easily a holding right there. Yeah, there's the flag. That was easily. He was grabbing. Yeah, I don't know. Pavelko's putting his hands out, but I mean, I looked up right when that play happened, and it looked like he was grabbing him before the ball even came to his hands. So Roosevelt will get an automatic first down. Bailed out because that would not have been a first down. It would not have had first down yardage, and he bailed them out with the holding call.
13-yard penalty.
Oh, it's 3rd and 1. I guess holding doesn't give you automatic first down.
No, it gets it pretty dang close. So maybe it's a run here. I mean, maybe just give it to.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say they're probably
Give
just
it
gonna
to
pass
Turi.
it.
Or yeah, short pass.
And then they're gonna hand it off, and he's gonna bowl his way for a first down. It might be a little close.
That might be close. They're gonna call him short, I think.
They might try and measure this.
Bring up the sticks.
And there's a player down.
Oh.
And they'll stop the
That's
clock.
a Knight. Injured Knight.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a little bit short. They might bring in Kusler to just power it up the middle. Or try to.
And they'll send,
You
both
can't tell
teams
who that
back to the
is, but
bench.
Could be a cramp. Yeah, it looks like just like a cramp. So it doesn't look like anything too serious right now. 11:40 left to go in the 4th quarter. It's 27-13. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back hopefully shortly. Back to Howard Wood Field, and the injured player was Joe Madchek, the linebacker, and it is indeed about a half-yard short. It'll be 4th down and about a half yard, and it's definitely a huge play right here for the Riders. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pass here, but I don't know, they might hand it off, or maybe just a quarterback keep, possibly. 4th and 1, 15 seconds left on the play clock. They got 2 receivers to their right and left. Danny bringing in the shotgun, like he's been most of the game. Sweet to Feldkamp, going around the right side. He cuts back and has a first down. Huge play for the Riders. Only a 3-yard game, but it's enough to move the sticks. And the Riders keep the drive alive. 11:16 left to go in the game. Ball on the Knights' 35-yard line. I'm assuming Roosevelt will try and hurry it up a little bit, so Gorman just can't run down the clock.
Yeah, I love admits you still have plenty of time to score, give the ball back to O'Gorman, and hold him.
Danny bringing in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his right and left, back to pass. Looking over the middle, he had Caden Jordan there for a little bit, but he waited a little too late to get it to him, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And another Knight down. It's probably another cramp.
Yeah, because he really was kind of alone there. Didn't really have a lot of contact. That's Logan Jones, defensive back.
Yeah, he's getting up on his... he's limping a little bit. So it might be more than cramp.
Yeah, it looks like more than a cramp. He's getting help there from... yeah.
And it'll be 2nd and 10 still. 4 down territory for the Rough Riders. As you're 10 minutes... A little under 11 minutes, you're down 2 scores, and you're inside the 40-yard line, so you're probably going to go for it on 4th down. 7 seconds left on the play clock, 5 seconds now. For 3, Danny gets a snap, gets it off to Feldkamp. Feldkamp cuts back. Oh, he's trying to reverse field, but he gets there, and going to have a very close to a first down. He's going to be about a half-yard short. I thought Feldkamp was going to try and reverse field, but he made a good play. It's going to be about 3rd and a half yard now. Another big 3rd down for the Rough Riders. As I don't know if they'll just give it. I don't know if they'll give it up the middle. This is a great spot where you want to have Tyree Nave as big 3rd down. Just give it to him, and he'll bowl his way for a first down. But 3rd and 1 now for the Riders. Just over 10 minutes left to go in the game. Dan bring back the pass. He's got a man and is caught. A great juggling catch there over there by Presley Johnson. And the Riders move the sticks again. Yes, they have really 4 really good wide receivers out there with Caden Jordan, Presley Johnson, Tyler Feldkamp, and Michael Paulson. 4 good wide receivers. And then once they get Tyree Nave back, they'll have great weapons on the offensive end. As Danny Brain's in the shotgun with 2 receivers to his right and left. Danny Brain back the pass. Looks for the end zone. Now he's going to run with it. Danny Brain up to the 15. Good run for Brady Danny, and it's going to be close to a first down. And it's a first down for the Rough Riders, or it's very close. Yep, first down. As Roosevelt in the red zone now, and are looking really good right now to score. To possibly make it a 1-touchdown game. Still 9.5 minutes left. Still plenty of time. As Dan Brain has trips to his left, 1 receiver to his right, and Michael Paulson. Dan Brain rolls to his right. Dan Brain, he's going to be sacked right there in the pocket.
Sacked
Not a
by
huge loss.
4 different nights there. Yeah, But that's first down. So if you want to be sacked, if you have to be sacked on first down. But 2nd 15, yeah, it's not too bad. Roosevelt's still making pretty good time here, 8:54. I mean, it's really just a question of can their defense hold O'Gorman and give.
And they've done a good job in the second half. Other than
they have.
Other than a couple big plays that led to 1 O'Gorman touchdown, they've done a good job in the second half. But the Roosevelt, they'll have 3 plays because you just a timeout, O'Gorman timeout. It's their second of the half. That could come important towards the end of the game if they need to go on a drive.
Yeah, that's something you want to watch here. Poppinga seems to be quick to burn his timeouts here in both halves. And he's down to 1.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. And the score is O'Gorman 27, Roosevelt 13. We'll be back in a second.
Discover their true athletic potential through no matter the sports by utilizing certified coaches, proven practices, and the latest technology. Sanford Power, proud sponsor of Sioux Falls School District.
Powerful and playful, delicate and precise, bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family, to provide options beyond the expected, to help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Orthopedics and sports medicine at Sanford Health. Health lives here.
In this presentation of high school football. It's 2nd and 15 for the Rough Riders from the O'Gorman 18. They desperately need, they desperately need to score now. Down 2 scores with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left. Dannebrand takes the snap, rolls to his right, and he's sacked again. And the Roosevelt offensive line is collapsing here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, when Dannebrand needs this line the most, they've failed him these last 3 times, and now Roosevelt's
3rd and 23.
Yeah, they're backed up here for.
We're just gonna have to get half this back. They're just gonna have to take this in 2 plays because time's ticking. If you don't get this here, you gotta get a quick stop, a quick score, and another quick stop.
Hey, you get half it back, or do you take the shot to the end? I mean, probably not, but depends on what the looks are here.
Yeah, if you can't get any yards here, then yeah, you're probably gonna just take a shot for the end zone. Because the first down's at the 3-yard line. Dannebrand goes to the right side, caught over there by Presley Johnson, but it's still going to be 4th down and 16.
Yeah,
so you're basically taking a shot to the end zone here. If you're Dannebrand, you have to throw the ball to the sticks here.
Yeah, you do not throw short of the sticks. This is what they did on the first drive, and Feldkamp came up 5 yards short of the sticks. You throw to the sticks here. You basically throw to the end zone.
Yeah. Yep.
It's an end zone shot.
And they've got one-on-one with Paulson over there. They might bring that safety over there to help. And you got trips to your right. Maybe you have Feldkamp or Jordan or somebody cross the middle. But if you're gonna throw it short, it better be a yard or 2 short, and your receiver better be able to get the first down. Dannery back to pass, looking end zone to Feldkamp, and it's way underthrown and intercepted. The 4th turnover of the game for Dannery, and this offense continues to struggle. Yeah, way underthrown. You just got to give your receiver a chance to catch that. And turnover on downs or an interception. And O'Gorman Now with 7 minutes is looking, and Roosevelt might need Roosevelt just needs now they need a 3-and-out, a quick score, a 3-and-out, and another quick score, but they still do have 3 timeouts, so they can afford to maybe take off a little time here, but then after they'd need a score again, and they'd need a 3-and-out using their timeouts. Roosevelt not looking very good there. It was 1st down and 10 from their own 15.
Interesting formation from O'Gorman.
Run to the left by Zach Norton, and he's not going to get anywhere. Maybe, back to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 15. And O'Gorman, I'm assuming, is going to run off all of these every single second on this play clock and run this clock all the way down. As they're up 2 scores, they won't have to snap it till about 6 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm assuming that's what they will do. You'd think at least. 18 seconds left. It looks like they're about ready to snap it. But I think
I don't know if this is where you drain the clock.
No,
right.
they snap it early.
Yeah.
With Shard to the left, and he's going to get about 4. That'll set up a 3rd and 6. And they won't have to snap it till about 5 minutes, 40 seconds if they choose so. As Roosevelt, they definitely, if you're Roosevelt, you need to stop here. You can't afford another 1st down and let O'Gorman burn off another 2.5 minutes here before you can get the ball back. So you really need to stop here, and possibly a turnover. 3rd and 6. This could be the game right here for the Knights. Schlumgen back in the quarterback spot. And they hand it off to Wishard, and he's back, and he's going to be stuffed for a loss. And the Roosevelt defense gets a 3-and-out, and now they put their offense back on the field, and they should get good field position.
So if you're Roosevelt, really, I think you go for a punt block here because you don't have a great amount of time in terms of getting the scoring, holding O'Gorman, and then getting the ball back again. So really just pull out all the stops. I wouldn't be surprised too if they took a deep shot on the first play, just like I said, because you're really trying to get some big bang plays right here.
A blocked punt, and a blocked punt will at least be a safety. And Roosevelt will send some pressure, and it's not blocked though. And the Riders should get good field position, and they'll have it at their 41-yard lines. Yeah, good field position, but you got to score fast with only 4 minutes, 54 seconds left in this game. And you're down 2 scores. You got to, I wouldn't say take deep shots all the time, but you're going to have to go for some medium 10, 15-yard passes here.
Yeah.
Try and get some fast yardage.
No, the running game for Roosevelt, they've essentially abandoned it since the 3rd quarter. Not because of the score, it just hasn't worked at all. So they'll
Dannenberg back to pass with trips to his left, looks left, finds Feldkamp, and he underthrows again. Jeez.
Little screen, but O'Gorman looked like they sniffed that out. That would have been a really probably gain of 1 or 2. Dannenberg's got to take shots here. That's my opinion. It's just take some shots, not 2 little 2-yard. Slant routes or something. No, you gotta
go out routes to the sideline, come back, something.
Come back out routes.
Medium yards, not take deep shots because you haven't had success with another bobbled snap. Jeez, and that's the 2nd time that Nick Bunker has struggled with the snap tonight, and it's 3rd and a mile.
I mean, really, Roosevelt, you've essentially haven't had a running game the whole game, which is a crucial point in every offense, and even your quarterback center exchanges have been off. You're failing at 2 critical things that it makes it really hard to win.
They've been so one-dimensional today. That was the thing with Roosevelt in the first 2 weeks. It was so hard to play defense against them because they could run the ball well and throw the football well. And 5 seconds left on the clock, they gotta hurry. 3, 2, 1. Dannenberg just gets the snap off in time. 3rd and 18. He's got to throw something, and that's caught by Michael Paulson. Wow. What a catch by Paulson to save the game. That was easily underthrown again by Brady Dannenberg.
And with heavy coverage. Great play by Paulson there. And Dannenberg had to he was his. He threw, so it's not like he had all the time in the world. No, threw it into probably not the best situation, but Michael Paulson bails out his quarterback, and now 3:45. You got to... you're gonna if they score, you're gonna get an onside kick, no doubt.
Yeah, you're gonna try for an onside kick, definitely. Dannenbrand to the right side, caught by Johnson, breaks a tackle inside the 15, cuts back the 10, the 5, touchdown, Roosevelt. Presley Johnson with the big offensive play, and it's a one-score game now at 27-19. Presley Johnson had a big play on a screenplay that was about 38 yards, and now he has, Presley Johnson breaks a few tackles, scores a touchdown. It's a one-possession game, and it'll be a 7-point game if Yellowbird can make the extra point. And Roosevelt's right back in this thing.
They have all 3 timeouts.
They might not necessarily need an onside kick anymore. I would kick it deep, try and pin back O'Gorman. Try and get a 3 and out with your defense. Extra point is up and good. That's a 7-point game. And the question is, if Roosevelt can get the ball back and score another touchdown, will they go for 2 or try and force overtime? I think with all the momentum that they have, especially being down 27-6, they'd go for overtime.
Yeah. It's too early and too big of a game for the go for, because I mean this is kind of game with the seed points. This is going to play a big part in your rankings for the season and ultimately in who determines who gets home field. I mean, it's early in the season, but games like this determine who gets home field.
Well, you'll get home field all the way through. I mean, even if you're the 1 seed, it won't matter because the championship game's at South Dakota State this year. Yeah, not at the Dome because it's under construction.
Yeah. Honestly, I like it at South Dakota State. It's a bigger stadium. It's a nicer stadium. I think it actually has a better football atmosphere than the Dome, but
also because South Dakota has been a little down over the past year or so.
Yeah.
But the Coyotes are playing in the Dome this year, but they're not having
really hard
state football at the state football championship.
The student section there is pretty. Yeah, I'm not really sure how it is. All I know is it's smaller and it's all different because of the having to play through renovation.
But if it's really cold, that could affect the game also.
Oh yeah, no, that'll
being outdoors.
Play a part.
Oh, it looks like O'Gorman's playing for onside. If you're Roosevelt, kick it deep here.
Yeah, just
kick it deep. Or maybe like down like by the Roosevelt sideline. There's so much open field. You could possibly kick it there. I think they'd kick it deep. Yeah.
Yeah, so
they're gonna kick it way over his head.
Yeah,
hope they can stay in for Roosevelt.
That's
dead ball.
What?
What's that all about?
That was great for Roosevelt, but that's not going to happen. Oh, that's killer. I wonder why.
Yeah, they would have been pinned back easily inside the 20. O'Gorman was assuming, I don't know what happened there.
Might be a formation thing.
An offside on Roosevelt. You don't see that often. So now they'll have to kick off from the 35 instead of. O'Gorman's still playing for onside kick, though. They're still playing for onside kick. That's strange.
Oh, okay. If they didn't learn their lesson the first time, teach it to them again. If you're Roosevelt, pin this guy, have this guy have to pick it up off the ground at his own 10 and see what happens.
Yeah, now they're going to go back a little bit. And they'll kick it, towards the right. That's what I was talking about, all that open field. Juggled a little bit by Bird, but he just falls down on it, which is a smart play out of 27. But Roosevelt only had one really bad possession on defense. They can force a 3 and out. I don't know if Kim Nelson, I feel that she should save one timeout for the drive in case Dannenbrand takes a sack, so you don't waste so much time. That you maybe, if you can get a 3 and out here, use 2 timeouts, save the other one. So if Dannenbrand takes a sack on your final drive, you won't lose so much time on the clock. So we'll see what Kim Nelson decides to do, or you just use all 3 of your timeouts, hopefully get the ball back with 3 minutes. Up the middle, keeper by Schlingen, and he gets nothing. Adam Kusler with a great tackle from behind. And that'll be a loss of about 2 or 3 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 12, and a timeout by Roosevelt, it looks like.
Yes.
With 3:13 left to go.
And Roosevelt has the momentum right now, I think.
So, with an exciting game here for the President's Bowl. Still one more to come, Lincoln and Washington. Both their student sections waiting for this game to be over.
Lincoln from the early, and this is, still 3 minutes left in this game, but they are outdrawing Washington in terms of students by far. I mean, they've got, it looks like they have more students, but that could be a thing where Washington students are in parking lot or whatever, but
And last year, the President's Bowl started with an overtime game as well between Lincoln and Brandon, and now this year there's a possibility of it doing the same thing.
yeah, it was a thrilling double overtime game which Brandon squeaked out, and then the second one not as entertaining. Roosevelt just steamrolls Washington 29-0. That game was over basically in the third quarter. But yeah, this one, O'Gorman and Lincoln. Not Lincoln,
Roosevelt,
O'Gorman.
14 unanswered points.
Yeah.
They came back in this game, and now their defense is looking for two more big stands to get the ball back into their hands of their offense. 2nd and 13. Schlimgen takes a snap, throws it to the left, and he is bottled up. Nathan Moon, what a tackle. On the quick screen, Nathan Moon is there, a loss of 5, and that'll set up
That's gonna be your
3rd
other
and
timeout.
16, and Roosevelt will take their second timeout.
And
Oh no, O'Gorman took that first timeout. Roosevelt still has
Okay.
3. Wow.
Well, so O'Gorman's playing really conservatively here. I'm not sure what the timeouts were.
Yeah, why did they take a timeout? I don't know.
But they're playing really. I mean,
Yeah.
3rd and 16. I see a run, or I don't see him taking a shot here. Roosevelt will probably get the ball back here, and we'll see if Brady Dannenbring is up for the task here. 3 or 4 turnovers today from him. He hasn't had the best President's Bowl, but that'll all be forgotten if he can lead Roosevelt and tie it up here.
Yeah, and I mean, if Roosevelt can hold O'Gorman here, they can get good field position too. O'Gorman will punt into the wind, but you should still possibly get the ball back by midfield and be in a good spot with possibly still one timeout, and only have to go 50 yards possibly. 3rd and 16, possibly the biggest play of the game right here. Can Roosevelt's defense stand right now? And we'll see what O'Gorman decides to do here on 3rd and 16. They switched to timeouts, so Roosevelt only has 1 left now. O'Gorman has 1 too.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would Pop
Roosevelt pumping up the student section, 3rd and 16. Roosevelt will only rush 3. Looking down the field, 1 versus 1 coverage. It is incomplete, just out of the reach of Jacob Bird. And Roosevelt gets the stop, and it stops the clock with their timeout. And now O'Gorman will have to punt at the 21-yard line. And also, you got to think, will Roosevelt go for 2? Because you got Kusler, who can pound the ball. I wouldn't think, but you never know. Because we saw Roosevelt and Brandon Valley a couple years ago with Brandon Valley missing that extra point in overtime. So knock on wood, we'll see if that happens again. But I don't know. First, you just got to worry about scoring, getting the ball back cleanly, scoring, going down the field and scoring a touchdown until you make that decision. Kick almost blocked. Feldkamp will call for a fair catch at the 41-yard line. Roosevelt 59 yards away from tying this game. They have 3 minutes and 5 seconds with 1 timeout in their back pocket. And hey, what did I say in the 3rd quarter? All the fan base would ask is to give their team a chance to drive down the field and score to force this game into overtime. And they've got that chance right here with just over 3 minutes left to go.
Yeah,
in good field position.
Roosevelt spotted 14 unanswered points, and well, we're gonna see what Dannenbring senior quarterback, can he step up here in probably the biggest moment of the regular season, I'd say.
Sweep, play action. Dannenbring pump fakes, and he's gonna get sacked. And Kim Nelson just used his timeout, I believe. Maybe. Yep, he did.
Yeah.
So Roosevelt's out of timeouts. So this is going to be it right here. If they don't score here, this is going to be the game.
And not just Dannenbring, but that offensive line has to step up. He's been pounded the whole game since the first quarter, and you need time on these, and they have to get his shoulder pad back in the jersey there. No, you need time. You need that offensive line to step up and give you a chance. And we'll see. Look for Tyler Feldkamp, Michael Paulson. Essentially, that's the Roosevelt offense here for this drive.
We'll take a quick break here. We'll be back in pretty soon, about 20 seconds, and we'll be back quick. Field in this presentation of high school football. 2nd and 15 after the Roosevelt timeout. They are now out. The Knights still have one left. Danny Brain in the shotgun. Offensive line needs to protect here, give him a chance to get off a good pass. Danny Brain to the far sideline. Caught by Feldkamp, but it won't be for much. Actually, decent gain.
Got it back to the line. The original line here, but that's
About
still
3rd and 7.
And it's 4 down territory.
Yeah, 4 down
regardless,
territory.
So.
And clock stops, so yeah, not bad for Roosevelt. Just have to get 4 yards a play, but you'd like to get more, obviously. 3rd and 8 for the Rough Riders in 4 down territory. With 15 seconds left on the play clock, they're still not really set yet. They got 2 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left with Turry in the backfield. 8 seconds left, 7 seconds. They got to hurry. 5, 4, 3, 2. They got to hurry. 1. It gets the snap off just in time. Dannebrain looks to run. He's going to run, but he's going to be stopped. He's going to be about 4 yards short, and the game will fall onto this play right here.
So see if they run a no huddle, or if with being 4th down, if they kind of, they're not. No, they are. Okay, so yeah,
this is the game right here. Roosevelt needs to convert, otherwise it's over, or basically over. 4th and 8 or 4th and 4. This is the game right here. Dannebrain back to pass. Looking, scanning, going to his left. He's gonna be buying time. It is incomplete, just over the hands of Michael Paulson. That was a good effort from Brady Dannebrain. And now, that might have just sealed the deal. Now Roosevelt's just going to have to hope for a fumble or something.
Yeah, they're out of timeouts. Gorman can essentially just take a couple knees and run this game out. No 2-minute warning in high school football.
Unfortunately for Roosevelt. It was a good fight, though. It's not quite over yet. I mean, if they knee it 3 times, Roosevelt could probably get back. Could probably get the ball back on a punt and try the lateral game. But they're basically going to have to force for a fumble. Hope for a fumble, just trying to hit them hard and hope that the ball will come out and somebody can jump on it. But we'll be back after the injured player is off the field, which will hopefully be shortly. Welcome back to Howard Wood Field, and the injured player there was Jacob Swab. He's walking out under his own power, but it'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights from the Roosevelt 47. And all that Roosevelt can basically do now is just hope that they can hit somebody hard and try and force a fumble and get the offense back on the field. They won't be able to quite knee it out, but they'll still, Overman's still in good shape right now. Yeah, they're just going to bring it all in, try and up the middle to Wishard. And if Roosevelt doesn't force a fumble, it's over. They'll just run it all the way down to 1 second, 1 or 2 seconds, and then they'll snap it. From the 44-yard line, it's 2nd and 7. So Roosevelt, hopefully for them, they can just get the ball back and get out to at least in Hail Mary range where you can try and chuck one up for the end zone, just at least maybe somebody
what
can go
is
up and grab it.
Dannebrain's Hail Mary range, would you think?
Probably about between the 40, 45-yard line.
Yeah.
He could probably maybe get it there.
With the wind?
He's against the wind, so probably to about the 40.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, never mind.
There's about a gain of a yard there for Wishard. Set up 3rd and 6. I don't think they'll quite be able to run it out, but it'll be maybe a few seconds, and Roosevelt will just have to lateral it off a punt.
Yeah, that play.
Or no, actually, now thinking about it, O'Gorman would probably just go back with their punt. They'd probably just have their punter
Run around.
so that
Like the
they don't
Ravens
pull
did in the
Michigan,
Super Bowl.
Michigan
Yeah.
State, where the fumble.
No, you don't need them.
the
Yeah.
messed up punt. And sure, some of you guys
Those
have seen
laterals always usually in slot. Half the time, the other team
but then
picks it up and runs
they
it
just have to
in.
bring some pressure so that he can't run around to one of the play clock. He barely got it off. Shard up the middle. And
Yeah, so.
Yep, they'll have to.
Two and
something.
a half second difference.
I think though O'Gorman will run it all the way down. They'll call a timeout. They'll tell their punter to run around, and this game will be over.
Or just honestly punt it. You're gonna have 2 seconds. If you punt it, just punt it straight out of bounds, or.
Oh yeah, just
Or
punt
it could be a thing where take the snap. Shillman gets snapped, just fires it straight out of bounds. Because 2 seconds, you're not gonna. Yeah, that's all you need.
They're doing the "I believe" chant, and I've always wondered what if they say the chant and then they lose. How funny that would be.
We did that.
It's not quite over. It's not over yet.
It's not over.
It's not quite over. But it's 2 seconds left.
Yeah, they'll call a timeout. No, we were one game I was in the student section. We actually were doing that with like 40 seconds left, and it was kind of nervous, like, oh, let's make sure we don't get to have this come back at us. But no, O'Gorman,
They'll just punt it out of bounds. They'll run the
out of
punter.
bounds.
They'll do something. They'll probably just the smart play. So then, if your punter would like panic or something and like throw it, it could get intercepted. You never know. So the smart play.
Just run up the middle. I mean, I guess the fumble risk, but that's not too high.
Or possibly just take the snap, try and run around, because the rule is if you can hold the team as much as you want. Mm-hmm. It'll obviously be a holding call, but I think the game would be ruled over. I think I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think game can.
Actually, no. I think it's extended one more play. Actually,
so there's no.
I believe
point
they
in
did
holding.
change that rule. Yeah, so they won't do that. They'll probably just punt it out of bounds. Would be the smart play. Oh, are they gonna take a knee or what?
Are
they gonna snap it back there?
Snap it back to.
They're gonna snap it back to Stuckel.
Stuckel and have him to. Crazy. The interesting plays the last one. Yeah, just some weird.
Yeah, that's the game. Did he need before? Yeah, no, that's the game.
That's game.
With today's win, the O'Gorman. Excuse me. With today's win, third-rated O'Gorman improves to 2-1 overall. With the loss, top-ranked Sioux Falls Roosevelt suffers its first loss of the season, falling to 2-1 overall. Both the Rough Riders and Knights will be back in action next week. The Riders will face the Rapid City Stevens Raiders in the second game of a doubleheader at Howard Wood Field. Kickoff is scheduled for 8 p.m. O'Gorman will play the Lincoln Patriots in the Knights' homecoming game Friday at 5 p.m. Once again, Sioux Falls O'Gorman defeats Sioux Falls Roosevelt 27-20. For August Mills, camera operators Jeff Little, Mark Johnson, and Madison Goff, and producer Matt May, I'm Brent Bowen. Thank you for watching this broadcast of high school football on the Howard Wood Field YouTube channel and on KLearn. And we'll be back shortly for the second game of the 28th Annual President's Ball between Sioux Falls, Washington, and Sioux Falls, Lincoln. Once again, the final score is Sioux Falls O'Gorman 27, Sioux Falls Roosevelt 20. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.